What's up, everybody? Welcome to Addicted to Fireball. We are an actual play RPG podcast with some adult content. Audience discretion is advised, but kick back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of Addicted to Fireball. This week, to my left...
Let me think about this. Like usual, it is Tomo playing Tobias Rinaldi. He may or may not kill everyone this time. Just saying.
I'm Brian, and I'm playing the character of Asir Jasa, who's a paladin in the service of all.
Ooh, yeah. Jason. Playing 8-Dax Crandor again this week, brother. I was like Randy Savage when it went into Hulk Hogan, but
It's alright.
whatever. Larry Judson playing Leary, and I will leave all you bitches in the dust.
At this point in the show, we are going to go over questions and concerns that come up in previous sessions. If you have any questions of us, you can email them to addictedtofireball@gmail.com. If you would like to skip over the rules and recap, you can go to 1350.
All right, take this opportunity to go over some user feedback that I received via Facebook messages. We did get a kudos and a comment on how the sound quality is excellent, and they inquired about what software we're using, so I informed them that was the free version of Audacity. They recommended Reaper as an alternative should Audacity have any kind of functionality issues, but so far I haven't really encountered any.
I do kind of like that.
The
Reverb?
podcast is great, really great sound quality. You should probably use this other software.
No, just saying I've heard good things about Reaper as well.
Okay.
Reaper?
Yep. So, just something to consider.
Sounds stupid. I won't do it.
I got another message asking whether or not we were on iTunes. I informed them we are not.
I need to learn RSS feed coding to upload to iTunes.
No, we can't do it with... Okay, here's the deal. It cannot be done as our current website hosting is through archive.org. Archive.org uses HTTPS, which means it is a secure site. So, when you try to link the RSS feed into iTunes, iTunes doesn't recognize it because it is HTTPS. If we wanted to have an RSS feed that fed into iTunes, we would have to have an HTTP non-secured website displaying the audio content.
Like Blogspot.
We could do Blogspot, Podbean, any of those things do it. We could buy our own website. Anything you wanted to do totally would work. But we can't do it with archive.org.
There's also a number of other requirements that we'd have to meet as well.
But those are all secondary to the... iTunes has to be able to find the RSS feed, which it can't do from an HTTPS website.
Correct, that's the first step. Then you gotta get approved, and you have to meet all the minimum criteria to do that.
Yeah.
I was looking at the minimum criteria stuff for it as well, because I was just giving a quick look through everything that I would need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much everything we have fits the criteria.
Great. We've already worked on meeting the minimum criteria, we just never got the RSS thing worked out.
No, because I figured out we couldn't do it with archive.org, and then you tried to do it and probably figured out the same damn thing.
Yeah, I was working on an alternate hosting solution, and I just got lazy.
Shit happens. Let's revamp that option. Try to find another hosting source. We have episodes up on Blogspot, and that's free. So I don't know if
they're
that's...
not on Blogspot. That's what you don't understand.
You're right, I don't.
Oh, you're using the
Blogspot is providing
embedded
the RSS
from
feed
Archive?
that's going to iTunes. When iTunes then goes to access the audio file, the audio file is not hosted on Blogspot.
Oh, I see what you're
The
saying.
audio file is hosted on
archive.org. Okay.
That's what the RSS feed is linking you to.
Get me some quotes. Let me know how much it's going to cost. I mean, if it's not a lot of money, then
$5 a month or less.
$5 a month.
Well, it also depends on...
Over 9,000 sold. I work at Generac.
If we were to suddenly get huge, somehow
I
miraculously...
don't think you have that.
And if we were suddenly get huge somehow miraculously, we could easily put like an Amazon link onto a website, or we could start doing some other kind of alternative advertising thing to pay for increased
For sure.
bandwidth.
Absolutely.
In the absence of that, and the more likely scenario is $5 a month, we can do easy hosting, either generate a website itself or go through one of the website services. Probably a website itself, because it'll give us larger bandwidth and storage.
I think you're underestimating how awesome we are.
Oh my god!
And I'm pretty sure the most likely thing is we
pretty
will
No,
be amazing.
because
Well, and if that's the case, if we're hosting through a websites.
Government organization. And the government have the rights
All right.
to that.
Can you do me a favor, Jason? Google addictedtofireball.com and tell me if that's already a thing.
I don't want to do that.
Who knows
It's
what
not.
you bring up?
You checked?
Yeah, I can buy it through my domain hosting.
I mean, because I'm not going to lie to you, I will just literally forget that $5 every month is not available. That's one drink a month that I'm not going to be able to
I
have.
don't know if you'd be able to survive with one less.
I
thing.
can do it. I'm a man.
Gonna
I
fill your
think you'll
computer
just
with
have less
malware.
overall
Probably get away from this.
disposable income.
Probably.
Result.
But
None
most
your
of my
habits will
disposable
change,
income goes to
so.
drinks. So there's that.
Oh, you broke it.
Okay, so great. You guys will look into that. Let me know for sure, and I will pay money, and things will happen. And we might eventually move to iTunes. We'll see that happen. I also got a third message.
Oh.
This one said, you
Oh,
might
it's
want to...
real
Excuse me?
What?
You ready?
Put on your big boy pants, Alex.
Trying to help
Come
him
on.
fix his website breaking.
No,
Cool.
it's fine.
Everything
It's
on his
fine.
computer.
I opened it back up.
Don't download the file. I've
We're
learned that
recording,
one.
Put this right to people.
Maybe.
I'd welcome it.
The third message that I received was you might want to consider your length. Consider splitting the episodes into 1 or 2 hour blocks. It's easy to zone out after about an hour and a half.
Yep.
Most people listen to podcasts while they're doing something else like working or driving.
Don't the fuck off and edit it themselves.
Look,
That's
I
the
said
thing.
it's probably not worth the extra effort, and they said quit being a bitch. So
It really isn't significantly more effort to split a
That's
file.
that's
It's
all
not.
I
I listen to plenty of 2 or 3 hour podcasts. Well, okay, I have a 2 or 3 hour podcast. Nope, I have 2 different 2 or 3 hour podcasts that I listen to, and I enjoy them. And I have the capacity. This is a little bit weird.
To think.
MP3 players.
wow, did they track the time?
I know, right? What they'll do is they'll pause. You can even turn it off.
Shit.
Throw it at a wall, piss on it, dry it out, put it in some rice, take it back out of that, turn it on, and it knows right where you're at.
Make sure to eat the rice.
Which is a little bit
Pretty good.
like dividing an episode into 2 episodes. I'm just saying.
So that's a thing, and it's true. However, I will say one thing. If we were to cut it up into multiple episodes per real session, that would give us more content to produce, to release, I should say.
the same amount of content.
Well,
It'd be the same amount of
Different
content.
format.
more releases.
Released
could
over
release
a different period
more
of time. Right.
at a
Which,
faster pace.
if you think about I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about the video games that you play, but rather than waiting 6 months for a mass update, if they do an update every month, I'm not sure if you think that that's better,
Yeah, we
worse,
do
or no different.
very nearly weekly updates. So I honestly prefer it. I mean, if if we break it up, that's fine. But we're all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that it's necessary, but it's an option and it's something for us to consider. Yeah. Thank you.
If we did, we might have the possibility of running over ourselves, where if we do consistently generate content, then the content would be, if every week you're generating it, you're putting out 1 episode a week, you're always dividing the episodes in half because of length, then you have 2 episodes every, eventually at some point you have to stop or dump to get rid of all of the extra stuff that you've got sitting in the can.
It's true.
So I'd rather we just kept putting them out and people can listen to them at their own pace.
Fair
that
enough.
would technically, having a backlog that will give us a chance to stop, try something new, see if that works out. And if it doesn't, we can just go right back into recording.
That's
Or
true.
it could allow us to do every other weeks with an alternate campaign, or one-shots, or board
That's true.
games, or...
It does give some more
Without
options
having a
back.
lapse in a release.
Or pants on.
Yeah, no pants game
Always a
sessions.
good option.
The best.
Gets a little out of hand.
Literally.
Literally.
Like
All
a
right.
book.
So, thank you for the feedback, and feel
We
free.
got one more feedback that we received. Says, AG suck.
AJ, you suck.
I did. I don't know why,
Sure.
but that I received that in an email as well.
Yep.
And I probably
Jason.
replied, "That's not."
How
me."
they get your personal?
I know, right?
Yeah, I actually got that. It was a chain. Every entry in it, and it was forward this to the next member of the cat. Oh. Well,
Good. Then I've succeeded. So
sad life in general. All of my friends hate me.
yes.
But they call themselves my friends!
Oh, paradox, gotta love it.
That's some Machiavellian shit right there.
Damn right.
It's better to be feared than loved.
All right, so once again, thank you for all the feedback, and feel free to continue submitting either via Facebook or addictedtofireball@gmail.com.
Recap of this episode, in the form of excerpt from the memoirs of Hendrik Lamar. When the heroes of Green Nest returned, I heard tales of them encountering dragons' cults spread by the Horned Devil. Margin notation. At Master Asir's calm request, I will henceforth refer to the tieflin as Leary. It weren't until later that evening when I heard the tale true from the knight himself. We traveled 2 days south, encountered minor resistance on the way. We were able to spare a few of the less rabid cultists. A measure that greatly pleased Athax. It was in the company of one such cultist that we entered the camp. From there we spent the day in the company of brigands. Not all bad men, but they had chosen a contract that is not pleasing to my lord Ogma. We learned the lay of their camp, more about the troops entrenched there, the cave housing the dragon's hatchlings, and later, during our capture, yes, Hendrik, Leary's story is no fantasy, we encountered Frulen Mondath, Signrath again. The rest is exactly as my companion has told. There is no need for fantasy when the truth stretches the imagination. Indeed, she smoothed some of the more incredible aspects of our escape. After Leary had summoned thunder to disperse the horses and signal Tobias's conflagrations, I did not so much aid Athax as bore witness to him severing a chain with brute strength. I did not enchant the horses to carry us from the flaming chaos of the cultist camp, but rather challenged them to combat. Do not be shocked, Hendrik. I calmed the horses once my challenge had halted its flight. Tobias did indeed set the general's tent ablaze from 100 paces with alchemist's fire. Then the suited warrior stopped for a few breaths, eyes out on another time, like a spell had took 'em. Since they were wandered into Green Nest, I wondered if the knight, even that Athax fella, were any more human than their horned companion. Forgive me, your nib's rest has ruined the page. As the 6 of us rose from the camp, we had managed to rescue 2 prisoners. Our egress was nearly barred from a massive rope. A silly precaution, if it existed for this sole purpose, particularly when one considers that a single kobold, unproficient in the use of his chosen weapon, was able to unmake it in a single blow. Unimpeded then, we left the camp. Our number had grown to 7 for the moment.
And that journey of yours out of the camp of the cult of the dragon, in the back of a wagon, being pulled by 2 spooked horses, was a swift journey, and it took you into the night, into the darkness, as your escape had occurred near twilight. You traveled for several hours. It's a 12-mile trek, give or take, through the rocky plateaus, and then through the rolling hills of the green fields, until ultimately you did not stop until you arrived back at Green Nest. And when you returned, you noted the state of the 2 prisoners that you had rescued. Leosin Erlenthar, a half-elven man, badly beaten, horribly malnourished, tried to fight Leary off as she wanted to bring him with, stating there was more to learn. Clearly, Leosin was interested in this cult, or in what they were doing, what their designs were, where they were going. He was far too weak to talk about it during the trip, and he's far too weak to talk about it still. Upon your arrival, you noted that the second prisoner had passed away. Perhaps he had already passed away prior to being loaded into the wagon. Of that, you're uncertain. But you know now that with Athax's medicine capabilities, he died of malnutrition.
When is this that we figure out that he's dead?
We'll get there.
Probably like an hour later.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, 12-mile trek, horses travel at like 6 miles an hour, so it's only a couple hours before you're going to make it back to Green Nest.
Okay. Sure.
It's math. So,
Well, I mean, it depends on paths and things.
for sure. And the horses are bolting. So, you're able to gain control of them, of course, after a while. And unless you wish to do something else, you will arrive in the city of Green Nest late in the evening. And you note the state of your rescued companions. The state of yourselves, of course, Asir, Athax, having been knocked unconscious, not getting a full night's rest yet, might still feel the knots on the backs of your heads and some of the bruises and the fatigue of the encounter the day earlier that day. Leary and Tobias.
I'm sure we get a little bit of shut-eye in the back of this wagon as we're traveling for the course of a day.
It's going pretty fast.
It's only a couple hours.
If we're arriving there at night, we were leaving
in the middle of the night.
You left
in the middle of the night, and then we're arriving there just as it's becoming evening.
No, I didn't say that at
Well,
all.
it's still night.
It's
okay.
still night.
Okay. Sorry, it took us 2 days to get down here, so I'm having a little bit of trouble
No,
with that distance.
you guys took 2 days. You
We were on-
you slept
Yep.
into the afternoon, then you left. You encountered the guys cooking the game hen and the kobolds. You beat them up. You continued on. Okay,
Technically, that fight in the ravine was during the night, but he said it was the day.
it was sunset. I said it at the beginning of the episode. The
He
sun
said it was
was
sunset in the first portion of that.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
when we were
nearing.
in
It was nearing
the
sunset. It's
kitchen.
only a couple miles. You guys
Right.
can walk a couple miles. It's
My
not that
actions
far.
would have been totally different. during
Shut
that
up.
fight.
So, ultimately, I'm going to say that it was about midnight when you guys planned your escape. And so you get back. It's still like 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning at the latest. But
Bar closed.
time,
So
telling
close.
time is really hard. 12 miles is not that far. But if you think about it, wandering alone by yourself out in the green fields without a group and horses and a wagon, it's going to take a while. There's no path, save for the trudging marks of the several hundred people, and it's dangerous.
Not a path.
It's dangerous out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Dragons and shit.
All
just a
right,
couple of things to keep in mind as you.
real fucking close to Green Nest.
And distances were pretty close on foot. I mean, I don't know last time we did a 12-mile trek.
Yeah,
Gear.
Brian, when was the last time you walked 12 miles?
Carried 50 pounds.
Walk 12 miles? I've done that quite a bit, but
Well, I believe it.
as far
It
as
takes
like,
a fucking day.
Anyway, that's the less important part. A fast pace takes you 4 miles an hour. So maybe 3 hours to get back to Green Nest.
I thought it took 2 days to get down there.
Nobody said that. So you arrive in Green Nest. It's late at night. At this point, how would you guys like to handle this? We can scroll time, or we can role play your arrival.
Scroll 5 years. We're level 15 now.
You get 0 XP.
Well, we're level 15.
I don't know. That's not possible.
I don't know.
Sure it is.
Okay.
I guess we're back.
Okay.
So
No preferences. That's fine. So as you arrive, there's not like a wall around the city, if you guys recall, and the guard force was mostly contained within the keep, at least until the day before when all of the raiders left. Now as you approach, you see there's very little activity going on in the city at this time, but you do see a couple of guard patrols here and there, very sparsely interspersed. You can tell that in the day that you've been gone, people have already started rebuilding and cleaning up the streets. So while they're clearly nowhere near completed, and that's not exactly what you're looking for, it's still noticeable that people are trying to get the city back into working order at a quick rate. And so when you arrive, all of the carts have been uprighted, and all of the spilled fruit and goods and whatnot have been removed, and things have been kind of tucked off to the sides to let traffic pass through, and all the fires have been put out, and a lot of the buildings, you can see they're starting repairs, supplies have been gathered, that kind of stuff. So where would you go upon arrival?
To talk to the governor. Yeah. We have that option, or
I'm more concerned with Leosin.
Yeah, we'd probably drop this dude off in the infirmary on our way, but that's already in the keep, so...
It depends on if we think he might have further information that we could give to the governor.
He's unable to share it at the moment.
Exactly. So we could either go talk to him now, or we can wait for him to recover, probably the morning.
Probably the governor should be made aware that it is less than a few hours' ride between here and the bandit camp, and that they could decide to come here immediately.
I'm not sure if the governor's available this time. It is pretty late in the evening.
We can make him available. We have important information.
What was that?
So we can make him available. We have very important information.
It's true. It's just a matter of, do we want to? We can. But it could make him cross, and we may have more information in the morning. That's all that I'm saying. We have two options.
If you mean seeking information from Leosin, he's far too, damaged. Currently.
Every breath of Leosin's draws like a heavy, raspy.
I'm sure with the aid of some of the clerics that are here and a good night's sleep, we may be able to get him at least somewhat coherent.
I suppose if you do not believe that there will be...
I mean, if you'd like to rouse him...
They would not be able to muster a sufficient force and get it here within time before we have had a couple hours rest, more than likely. So if you wish to wait a couple hours, I'm not opposed to this. We should, of course, get Leosin to the infirmary post-haste.
All right. Well, we all know where that is. And that's where we go.
Okay. So you guys take the couple of horses, the wagon, the dead body, Leosin, and yourselves, and the kobold. And the kobold. Who the whole time was claws digging into the side of the wagon, getting tossed around. I mean, he's a light, fragile, small creature, being roughly taken on this journey through the plains.
Jeez.
Was there any interaction between you guys and the kobold along the way?
Not for me. Like, my attention would be mostly focused on Leosin, kind of like maybe taking a water skin, dabbing my finger into the water, and then like spreading it on his lips, kind of letting it seep.
Okay, that helps. That helps. I mean, Athax, you're, with you being trained in medicine, you understand that.
Who's driving?
Nobody.
Okay.
The guy who challenged the horses to combat, and then you calmed them, so they totally respect you.
I learned to respect in combat.
Yes. No, Athax, you understand that Leosin is malnourished. So while sleep is magic, it's not going to heal not eating. Okay? It'll heal your fatigue. It'll heal your bruises. But it's not going to heal not having sustenance. And this man is clearly on the brink of death. Unfortunately, the other man has passed over that threshold. And you could tell that was clearly because of being malnourished and overworked.
Am I the only one trained in medicine here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
He's a dead guy.
Fuck that.
You're the jack of all trades?
I heard about medicine once.
You're a cleric, right?
Yeah.
Sorta.
What the fuck is the point of medicine? We got magic.
Yeah, fuck that.
Ogma takes care of that shit.
I just do this and people wake up.
Ogma didn't live out in the woods with me for 15 years.
Of course not. He's a god. He wouldn't live in your shitty woods.
Fucking destroyed my foods. Yeah, I mean, if he's driving and you're caring for
We haven't
Nielsen.
protein.
The other guy's dead, and the kobold is scared.
I'd probably try and talk the kobold down. Calm him down.
Okay. I mean, after a little bit, you're able to convince him to stop freaking out, but he looks at you almost enamored by you. He says in his broken...
It's a he? Kobold?
You assume.
Okay.
You haven't checked yet.
You haven't checked.
Look at his cloaca.
Turn your head and cough.
Kobold
Now, yeah, he says in his broken, kind of choppy common, he says, I do good.
Very good, yes.
Now where we go?
We're going back to Green Nest.
I just leave.
I know.
They no like me in town. Yes?
What did I tell you when we met before?
Change life.
And why did you go directly back to that camp?
You go.
You were following me?
Yes.
I was just gonna totally gag him if he gave me any other reason than that.
Okay. I'm a spy, fucker. No.
Oh wow. You did well.
Well, for water.
Also good. Well is also good. It's a good thing.
Water good.
Correct. Well, water, and good are all the same thing. There's no reasoning with these things.
He just, with an open maw, kind of smiles and nods.
Do you not want to go into the town?
I go, you go.
You're going to follow me.
Yes.
Do I believe that he would be met with any animosity?
Considering that he...
Should he follow us into the town with an intelligence of 8 but a wisdom of 13?
See, it's definitely the wisdom that pulls through on this one. It's you just got done fighting a bunch of these things, so they might be seen as a threat.
Okay, well then I would, as we're getting near the town, I'd ask our gracious driver to stop the wagon and say, I'll be camping out here tonight. If you need me, I'll be out here. Keeping this guy with me. We're going to talk, have some words.
Of course, get off the wagon.
Okay. Jump off the wagon.
Okay, so you're going to hang out with the kobold?
Yeah, we're gonna camp out.
Okay.
Oh. Let us know if you're attacked.
Splitting the party.
It's not like miles away. It's
There's
just
probably
outside.
not goblins roaming through.
Probably not.
Yeah,
And there's
fine.
2 of us. We'll be fine.
Just don't sleep.
I just don't plan
Good radio.
to. Yeah, and I just begin showing him how to set up a basic camp with a fire.
He totally sees what you're doing, and then might even show you a couple of things.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I've seen a lot. I've been living out in the wilderness for a very long time.
Ditto. So you guys work as a team, and you set up a great little camp.
Great, gorgeous little camp, strategically placed,
Mm-hmm.
where the light from the fire won't, make our presence known far out. You'd have to almost be on top of us, see the
It's
fire.
summer. He says, it hot, no need fire.
Shut up, we need to eat. No, I explained to him that, no, we need a fire to see. We're going to talk.
I see.
Correct. I can't. Not in the dark.
Oh.
He completely just doesn't believe in you anymore. You're worthless to him.
I like this a lot.
No. Says, fire.
I need it.
He nods.
I don't know. I just begin talking to him, get to know him better.
Okay.
If you want to actually RP this.
Cruthax is his name.
Cruthax?
That's all you get for now.
Can I get a spelling on that?
Whatever you want, and then you tell me
It's
what.
like
later.
Apex with crew.
What is that?
K-R-U-
Hobgoblin?
Kruthax.
Hold on.
Okay, so KRU apostrophe
Crew.
with an apostrophe.
Yeah.
Okay. And then THACKS.
Okay. And he's a bugbear?
He is a Yes, he's a bugbear, and he remembers one time in his life getting plane shifted to another world, and now he's back.
That'll happen.
And at one there, he got like reincarnated / polymorph.
Well, yes. Life is a bitch in outer planes. Just saying.
It's hard being a single bugbear.
That's from a previous campaign where Jason's character had a mace that would plane shift people.
When I hit him with it, and I plane shifted the bugbear, and I want to play that bugbear still in the future campaign.
I would love to have that. That would be fucking sweet.
Someday there will be a bugbear played in a campaign that was plane shifted randomly. Sweet shit. So anyway, you hang out with Kruthax. The rest of the party goes into town, makes your way to the keep. You see the keep. The gate is shut, as is the portcullis. And there is a guard posted outside. And he's got a torch on a sconce next to him, and a halberd in both of his hands. One halberd held with both
Better go to the
hands.
back door. He looks like a badass.
He's oh shit. Anyway, you approach.
Yeah.
And he kind of puts his hand up to shield some of the light from the fire as you approach, and I mean a dual horse wagon kind of rushes up towards him, and he looks forward into the moonlight and says, "Who goes there?"
I'm sitting there with my torch because I can't ride a wagon at nighttime without light.
Awesome.
And I inform him that I am Athax Jason, companion of
Athax Jason.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a new name.
Wow, at least I know I'm not the only
All right,
one.
have
who
you
can,
seen
switch
fucking
your
like the
names.
4th season of Dragon Ball Z?
No,
where,
what do you
Goku
want?
and Vegeta do the twin
Oh.
dance. They become
Oh.
one guy. They become Gogeta. Athax and I did that. He knows that trance shit. Anyways, now we're one character. It's a Gestalt thing. We got double stats.
Monks are so good in this game.
we talked, you know,
That
we
was
said,
their double ability.
I hope you leave and never come back, you know, and I'm like, fine, I'm out of here, and then he talked me into coming back, and then I came back, and I'm like, hey man, I'm really sorry, you know, I don't want to kill people, but you're like, I want to kill people, so I'm like, I know this thing, maybe we could do it, and we could benefit each other.
And so you do a dance and touch fingers?
Yeah,
Exactly,
we go,
And now we're one
and
dude.
then we go this, then we touch fingers, and now we're the same dude, and we take life, but we also deeply regret taking
Exactly. Just Goku to my Vegeta.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
Wow, that's
And
deep.
what you do is you just add all the numbers on his sheet to all the numbers on my sheet. We write that on a third sheet.
Or vice
and
versa.
We're called Athax Johnson.
You know what? This sounds too broken for this campaign. It's a great idea for
you're a
another
bitch.
Yeah, you're a
campaign.
fucking pussy.
Fuck you, I got a dragon. Bring it on!
I think that might actually get the shit out of a dragon.
I don't think so. Not right now. Maybe later levels, but
What, like a 38 strength?
I don't give a shit, even then. I will kill you.
Yeah, all right.
I will kill you with a dragon.
All right.
So anyway, you say you're Asir Jason, I assume.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself properly. And the guard says, yes! You've returned very quickly. What is there a problem? Or do you need to speak to the governor?
We need to get to the infirmary. Open the gates.
Alright, he kind of double checks your numbers for a second and bangs on the gate. And you hear a voice cry muffled from the interior. And he says, the heroes have returned! And you hear...
Oh my god, Tiamat. Oh yeah.
He really did open this gate really easily.
You guys were the heroes of the city.
We saved the city.
I would be surprised if they didn't let us in that easily. I drive.
The gates
cart.
swing open, and you guys drive the cart into the courtyard. You're met by some stable boys who take the horses.
I think Tobias
Who
is
doesn't
the
love a
boys.
good stable boy?
Leary and I then carry what's his face into the
Leo.
infirmary. Yeah.
And what about the other
Kidding,
guy?
he's all naked.
Anything with the
There's
other
the guys on
guy?
a pile of dead guys. We was like,
They got a spot for that, right?
Yeah, it's called a cemetery.
shit.
Did you take all his
Whatever,
stuff?
you got the stable boys. Figure it out.
Stable boys.
Did you take all his stuff?
He doesn't have any stuff.
He's a prisoner. He had a
look
look.
at manacles. We take his manacles.
Just saying.
Chop his hands off.
Burn the
Take
body.
the time to lock him.
Cut the hands off, burn the body.
What do I look like? A fucking
won't
scrub?
A little bit.
We could. Oh, I don't know. Do I know he's dead for certain? Maybe I think you should go to the infirmary. I'm not trained in medicine.
I mean, Athax, did you inform your companions that man was dead?
No.
all right, who's gonna help me carry this one?
He's dead. He's clearly dead. You guys are just really.
You're not there.
Yeah. I'm
You
not
were there. I'm
What?
saying, did you inform them that the man was dead?
Yeah.
Of course you would. Why wouldn't you? There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
So you know the man is dead,
It was
and you're
your
showed
fault.
to where you could bring the body to
Okay.
be prepared for burial.
And make
One of
sure
the
that
stable
you know
boys
that
helps you.
location.
Okay. So it's actually an antechamber next to the infirmary.
Okay, that's
So you're
convenient.
going to roughly the same area anyway. Leosin is brought there. He the whole time is mumbling something about Resmir and masks and dragons, and you're not really able to put it all together. And eventually he is brought there. So you have taken the dead prisoner to basically the room next to the infirmary where they will embalm and prep for burial.
He was liberated before he died.
There's also Leosin left in the infirmary, and the rest of you rest for the evening. Is that correct?
What's left of it yet?
Yeah.
For the remainder of the evening. Athax is out in the green fields with Kruthax.
Kruthax.
Kruthax. Kruthax.
Is there a U in there or what?
Let's change it to an O,
I want an umlaut.
just so it doesn't rhyme with your name.
Kruthax and Athax.
That's right. Sounds way different now.
Barbarian duo.
They're both titled the Devourer, though.
Clearly.
It's
Yeah.
possible I may pass out at some time, but I'm going to be sticking around Leosin.
Okay. Just are you tending to him or just being near him?
Helping Clara where I can.
Okay.
That's
You know,
not
Clara was
sticking
actually
around.
resting when you guys got back, so she was awoken by your guys' presence. But she quickly composes herself and immediately goes to tending to Leosin, and she's welcoming of any aid. So you're able to get Leosin bandaged up, and eventually you nod off, propped up in the corner near the cot that Leosin is laying on.
Only the weak depend on water.
Solid.
Yeah. I drink the blood of enemies.
And fruit.
All right, come on, people. Let's move this along.
Shit.
Don't tell me what to do.
The night passes. Eventually, you and Kluthox get some sleep.
Yeah.
Maybe take shifts. Whatever. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't sleep at all.
Whatever.
It's whatever to me.
Whatever's covered.
What is on your agenda for the next day?
When we all wake up, we will gather and we will approach the governor. That is what Asir desires.
Yep.
Athax, are you bringing Kluthox with you?
Do I think it's a good idea?
No.
I've already explained you think that's probably not the greatest, but perhaps
Can I get away with
through
it?
your super charismatic words,
Oh, yeah.
you can
Ace.
convince other people. No.
You disguise as a
Okay,
hat.
yeah. I don't think so.
Oh, I go then. Okay. You know like.
No, I won't let him go.
You're mine now.
I wait here?
Do you want to do that?
No.
How about I just hang out here? If they want to talk to me, they can come find me. That's what I told them, isn't it?
Do you guys want to go get Athax?
Alright, fuck it. He's not even part of this contract.
Yes, he is.
No, his
No,
name
he
is
isn't. He
crossed
forfeited
off.
everything.
No.
It was not crossed off. I signed my name with an X because
If you
I'm
recall,
illiterate.
Athax signed the contract, meaning that he would go there and gather information in return. He would just not be rewarded as you
Okay,
will.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I just don't want the gold.
He
So,
doesn't need to be here. So,
okay.
would you
Great.
like me to go get him? Okay.
It matters not to me, so I just want to know what your agenda is. You want to talk to the governor? You wake up, and Leosin is sitting cross-legged on the cot, and he has a meager meal in front of him, and he is ravenously devouring the breakfast.
That's not good. He's gonna follow it.
Yeah.
You're probably going to want to slow down on that.
Sets it down next to him, drinks out of a water skin, says, "Good morrow to you, Leary. I am so glad to see that you are well."
He would know me as Falia.
Oh, Falia, that's right. Okay. Good morrow to you, Falia. I am so glad to see that you are well. What brings you to this region?
You told me to come find you?
No, I said that I would be here, not that you should come. These are dark times, as you can see. I've been investigating this cult. The cult of the dragon, you know. They seek to resurrect Tiamat, to return her to this world from the prison that she has been exiled to.
We have not heard that part of it. We understand the cult is trying to bring her back. We've been engaged in battle with them for the past couple of days.
I take it you were here when the raid occurred.
We got here after the raid began, but before it ended.
It was just as the raid began that I snuck into their ranks. I am not proud to say it, but I acted alongside of them, only to gain their trust. To become one of them, you see?
It's an understandable risk.
Keep your friends close, your enemies closer, they say. And I kept them perhaps too close. I was able to return to their camp with them and do some of my investigations and learn much about their goings-on, especially about Resmir and her plans. Unfortunately, I didn't learn enough. And there's more to be learned, but I'm in no condition now, so...
Yes, your mad ravings from your malnutrition. You
I must apologize.
very much wanted to stay in this camp where you would obviously die.
Well, you can understand that my intentions are to gather the information. Knowledge is power this day and age, and when you have an organization that is as far-reaching as the Cult of the Dragon, well, at least from here to the Sword Coast and all the way north, I've even heard tell of activity in Neverwinter. Knowledge about their goals and aspirations could be quite valuable. Not for coin. As you know, he reaches into his tunic and pulls out a small chain, and on the end of the chain is an image. And you recognize this image as having been on the...
Is it the chain that I got from the other guy?
Yes! It's the exact same chain that you got from Thanos.
Oh my god.
Thanos Darrell.
Definitely.
That's the name of the man, right? Is that correct?
He and become dead.
Nassim is the guy I talked to.
Oh, Nassim. Sorry. Nassim is the guy who gave you his choker.
Yes.
Yep. It's the same symbol that's on a choker. That's on the choker that you got. Sorry.
Which was Leo's.
Which was Leoson's, yep. Clearly he's got a backup. It matches this. This is an image of a crescent moon with a harp in the center and 4 stars around the exterior. He says, as he pulls that chain out,
Shit, he's a lyrist.
and he grasps it, and he says, you know that coin is not my interest, and that is not our goals. But this cult has designs that are against my order. I know not exactly how they intend to bring her back. I know that they believe they must amass a hoard for her. But there's more to it. There's much more to it. I must learn that, Falia.
True.
I'm glad to see that you escaped. Did you encounter any other resistance leaving the city?
No, I'm fairly certain I got away. Whether or not anyone tailed me from there, I cannot be sure. My abilities, well, I'm not a tracker.
I know. You must spend a lot of time in the wild to be a tracker. And that is not something you're accustomed to, but I see that you have survived in this small town nonetheless. I thought that their small-mindedness might not take a liking to your presence.
Luckily, I had some help with these raiders. Fighting them off proved to garner me the favor of the people.
Clara was telling me about it. Said that you and your companions, I assume those that assisted in my rescue,
Yes.
were responsible for driving off a number of the raiders, or at least rescuing many of the citizens. And
Indeed.
for that, she tells me Governor Nighthill is quite grateful.
I would assume so. They are his
Well.
people after all.
I'm glad to see it in you, Phalia, to help these people who owe you nothing. They do not have the power of House Mysteros, or Dacilos for that matter, but they are good people, and they did not deserve this raid.
She does not know about Dastalos.
Maybe she doesn't.
Now he's name dropping.
What does Dastalos have to do with anything?
Just another powerful family, Phalia. There are many powerful families in and many of them are networked.
I garnered that much.
Or connected in one way or another, be it for mercantile purposes or his gaze kind of shifts off otherwise. He comes back, says, I wish to tell you I do have word that Thanos as well. He was one of the house guards and one of the few people who were genuinely kind to you as you...
A seer is lingering somewhere nearby. Either he's maybe resting on one of the cots or something of the like.
Okay. You can overhear the conversation. It's perfectly fine. I mean, unless at some point you want to hush it. It's up to you.
Did I find LED monitor?
He looks like he's asleep.
If it's a seer, I don't quite care as much.
Okay.
He has really been the one out of the entire group to work with me the most.
Okay.
Tobias has second, Ajax, obviously.
I called you demon filled
ranking
one
them.
time.
Yeah, that's enough for me to be like, okay, you're like everyone else.
Okay.
I'm not
So then we all
pay
have to say
attention
that
to you
once, and
anymore.
then it just shifts us down the list equally.
Fair enough.
We'll go back to the original ranking.
We'll all agree to it, and then you and I won't actually say it because we both want to.
I spent a little while here in Green Nest before the raiders arrived. I knew that they would come here, mostly because it's the only wealthy town out here in the middle of the green fields. And Resmir's eye was in this direction. I do not know the city well, but I know that Governor Nighthill is a kind man, and if he sees you as well as Clara says he does, then you will find a home here. I cannot say that it will be a permanent home, as your leaving your house was not warranted and will be sought. You will be sought, for certain.
Yes. And I'm still quite close to Well, not
You are, in the grand scheme of the world, you are
Green Nest is
relatively...
still located within isn't it?
I think technically it's not in no. If you look at the map, is basically down here. And we are north and east of where is. Katla is basically here.
Yeah, that other map had like a road that went straight.
We are
through
not on
Alcala
the
to
Sword
Green
Coast right now,
This is the region.
but it's the
known
region
as-
known as the Sword
The
Coast. Right.
performer formerly known as the Sword Coast.
There was like a road on that other map that went straight from Alcala to Green Nest.
That's true. It's called the Uldun Trail. So it's a very popular trade route. There are many other cities along it. You are still weeks' travel away. But others have means of traveling very quickly. Especially when you have disposable income. So, he says, my order, as you know, seeks, or they have tasked me to seek information about this cult, and at least to keep the balance in check for now. I cannot do it alone, of course, but I know not that their designs prove towards any action in the near future. It may be some time before whatever they desire occurs, but there's no way to know for certain. What are you and your... He kind of glances over at Asir companions' designs.
Well, we're on contract from the governor to try to figure out some various piece of information about the cult's movements. We just got back from that.
He begins nibbling on the food again.
I'm not sure if they went and did anything to pursue that end, or if that is yet to be done.
Care you at all for this cult?
What?
Do you care for this cult? Their desires are a bit unorthodox, wouldn't you say? Raising a trapped deity back to the land.
It is an interesting idea.
Asir, give me an insight.
Okay. I'd be curious, maybe to how it's done, as it's not a common thing to do, dragging a deity out of a prison.
I should hope not.
Okay. I don't need dice this time.
12?
Yeah.
Asir, you can tell just because, you have dealt with knowledgeable people.
I can tell that that was a leading question. But...
Well, it's definitely a leading question, but you as a character are aware that the man that Leary is speaking to clearly doesn't know her that well. They know each other. They know of each other at least, and they clearly have some kind of connection to the past. But he also is trying to gauge kind of her philosophies, who she is as a person, and her perspective on the world based on some very leading questions. So you're able to garner that from this conversation.
Oh, cool. I figured that out as just a person.
Now you know it as a character.
Well, whatever. Now you know it as a character.
Oh, damn it.
Player knowledge,
Metagaming.
character knowledge, quit metagaming, you fucking douchebags. Says, I should hope that it's not a regular occurrence, at least. There haven't been many deities that have been chained over the years, but several for sure, and let's hope that all of those that have been chained remain chained where they are, for it was for a purpose that they were put there. But those designs are beyond me and my organization. This cult of the dragon has caught our eye as of late, and I will continue my investigation of them. I'm hesitant to thank you for removing me from their camp. While I understand I was in peril, I was also so close. They had me working near the hatchery, you see. I almost got in there. Caught a glimpse of these eggs I hear the whispers of.
Also almost dead. Who would have benefited from that knowledge if you had perished?
You are right, Phalia. Knowledge of these cultists needs to be returned to my superiors. However, Rezmir had clearly kept me alive for a reason.
Asir's up and getting ready.
You notice that Leoson's posture kind of straightens a little bit. He seems to be a little bit more guarded, maybe. He doesn't speak as freely now that Asir is awake and moving around. It says, some horrible things were happening in that camp, wouldn't you say?
The treatment of slaves was pretty bad. Otherwise, it just seemed like a standard military encampment.
That was pretty okay.
People as soldiers working together for the common interest of higher power.
There were many men there that cared not for their fellow man and cared only for the gold that they were getting paid. I hope that this is not common, but it's not something I've dealt with often, so I can't say for certain.
And I have not but stories to go off.
and many stories are based on truth. Nonetheless, I must rest. I must eat. North Hill keeps a good kitchen, as he spoons up the remains of his breakfast.
You may wish to
Yes,
take that lightly. You are an ill man. To eat too much, you will make yourself sick in the process. So I am told. It may be wise as well to have you tell whatever information you have available to our Lord Northhill here. You see her walking over and addressing the two of them.
Oh, that kind of reminds me. While you were within the camp, did you hear if they had planned any strikes for next raid beyond Green Nest?
I did, in fact. I learned that they planned to hit all of the surrounding trade cities. That was Rezmir's design for coming to the location that they're at now. If I had a map, it would be evident. The location of the camp is equidistant from several wealthy trade posts.
Finish the breakfast that you have. You will join us as we address Lord Northhill.
It would be my pleasure.
Find Tobias and I don't believe that Apex need to be necessary. I'll question Tobias when I find him. Enjoy the company of your associate, if you will.
Good luck.
You find Tobias.
Whoa! You're right where I thought you would be. Oh, it's touch.
Right behind me with a knife at my throat.
We're going to speak with the Governor Northhill, if you care to join us. The man, Leoson, I believe, he is awake, and he seems to know where the likely targets of the cultists are.
It's good to know. Well, I don't believe I have any pressing matters, so whenever you guys are ready, or more accurately, whenever the sick man is ready, we can go see the one with the coats.
I gather up Lyra and the
Leary.
whatever. Lyra
What's her face?
Gallaglag.
and that fucking half elf.
He's half man, actually.
Okay.
That's true, half man.
Yeah.
Half man, half fucking monster. And we had to go talk to them.
Okay.
Monsters are hippies.
Whatever, you're a demon, that's fine. I can get behind that. But somebody with fucking elf, fuck that person and fuck their spawn. That is a monster.
I think that's incest.
Gross.
Word, just saying. Pretty sure. I mean, unless they already had the spawn, in which case that would be
I'm
serial
not related
rape.
to any of them. I'm not a dirty, dirty beast.
Well, if you fucked them and then waited for the spawn and then fucked them, that would be incest.
No, because I'm not related to either of them.
Fair enough.
I'm
I get
sticking
behind
around.
that. I get behind that.
Okay, Athax.
That's awful.
You are out in the green fields with Kruthox. What do you want to do today, I guess, since you said you're not just going to go into town right away?
Train him as a barbarian war.
I'm gonna train him as one of my own if he's willing to do that.
Teach you the ways.
Remember,
Teach him
you
the
don't
ways.
speak Draconic, he speaks very shitty Common, so
Right,
what are you
yeah.
trying to teach him exactly?
How to punch things.
Well, like, I want to figure out what he wants to do.
Good. He wants to do good.
I can work with that.
Because you didn't kill him, and you said, change your life. And so now he's like, okay, I need to do good.
Okay. Then I begin trying to teach him about my character's philosophies on life and preserving life, and no life is too far gone that it can't be brought back. And
Do you think you can describe that to a 5-year-old? Not that he's 5.
absolutely, I can
Okay.
describe that to a 5-year-old.
Great.
Life good, life still good, life don't go bad, life check craft G single.
But
Grilled cheese, grilled cheese, grilled cheese.
Oh, I made grilled cheese Monday. It was fucking amazing. It was so
Yummy.
good. Pepper jack. It was
It
great.
was such a worthwhile anecdote. Thank you for sharing.
that solved it for me. So
That was
anyway,
awesome. I ate like a bunch of it.
Okay.
And took a nap. It was amazing.
he's listening intently,
Yeah.
but he's clearly not like. I mean, he's not like the quickest cat.
That's fine.
So-
I've got all the time in the world.
So you're going to do this all day?
If that's what it takes.
Okay, great. So you're out there all day. You guys grab Leosin. He freshens up a bit, and you go meet Governor Nighthill. Northhill. Nighthill. Fuck.
Which one is it?
I think it's night.
What
Man with the
campaign
coats.
is
Nighthill!
this?
Man with the coats.
The man with the expensive coats.
The coat man.
Well, sorry, one of your characters from the past campaign. I'm pretty sure that you played him and then he died right away.
Not right away.
Right away.
Strange how that happened.
was-
It was my
Right
character's
away.
name was Northhill. This is Governor Nighthill.
But Northhill
Okay.
died pretty right away.
Did not die right away. I played him for 2 sessions.
That's
Okay,
pretty
and I
right
tanked
away.
like 30 goblins.
I
All
take
right.
them with you.
I was just stabbing dudes.
Uh-huh.
What you talking about?
Jealous little bitch.
Granted, I do think you tank more than I did, but
Yeah, he was a monster. So, Governor Nighthill, the man with the very nice coats, is aware of your guys' presence. You've been here several hours. You gained a long rest. You gained your HP. You gained your spell slots back. Blah blah blah. 1/2 of your hit dice that you spent the previous day, if any. And you meet Governor Nighthill in his personal audience chambers. Okay, which he has a large oak desk, a dark brown with claw feet. It's pretty cool. And on top of the desk, he's got a series of paperwork all laid out that Tobias, you've been in this chamber once before to sign the contract or review the copies of the contract. This is the Hawk Room, as you recall. Yeah. And he stands as you guys rise. He's on the other side of the desk, and you see 4 chairs have been pulled out, and strangely enough, there's 4 people here now. He looks quizzically at the half-elf for a moment before meeting eyes with Leary and saying, welcome back. I did not expect you so soon, but I am pleased. Enter. If you could close the door behind you, please. He pulls out some WD-40.
I'm sorry, this is a common problem.
What news? As you see, he opens a drawer and starts pulling out several sacks.
I could have punctured the door closed.
We have a lot of news, actually. Gathered quite a lot of information. Where's our map?
If you may, the contract, there was several specific pieces of information. I would like to provide those first in order.
Makes sense.
He produces his copy of the contract, and as he's doing so, Leosin stands and says, Governor Nighthill, I am Leosin Erlenthar, a mere sage. I was in the camp of the cult for a time before these kind folk rescued me. I have a bit of information to share, but I am not under any contract. Governor Nighthill nods at him and says,
Your presence is provided as part of our contract, Leosin. We have garnered your escape by means of which of gathering information, and as favor to one of our companies.
well, I thank you for rescuing this man, and Leosin, your presence here is more than welcome, especially any information that you may have. I want to know, first of all, where the camp is sited.
Can you provide a map of the area? It will be useful for several pieces of information.
I didn't pay for one, but...
Lacking a legend, will be unable to tell the distances between any 2 points. However, I am able to mark them. And I mark where the camp is relative to Green Nest.
So close.
Indeed, exceptionally. They could be here within a couple hours.
Do we have reason to believe that they will return?
It's quite possible.
Besides their knowledge that we had infiltrated and returned from the camp,
You were found out.
Yes.
Well, not the reason.
I
for us
only
doing
asked
that.
for information.
In order to retrieve.
Information on the structure of the camp could not be
Yes,
gathered.
but your lives may now be in danger.
Our lives have been in danger since before we met you. Merely by entering this
That was
place,
by choice. This is now by my design. That is not what I desired, but...
we accepted the contract.
I believe it was by choice. In your words, you stated that you do not want us doing something we do not believe we can do.
Precisely.
You
Subterfuge
believe that
was
we
the
can
name of this
do it.
game, but nonetheless, I speak not to the folly of your actions. I am grateful for anything you'll be able to share. Only that if they are so close and you have been found out, then I must ask that you stay in the keep. Lest
Well-
you be found.
I don't believe they would be keen to return to this area. They seem to be preparing to hit other locations, and there's no longer much here they desire.
Agreed. I believe we should continue with outlining the information. That way you have a better understanding of the situation at hand.
If you wish, point by point then, who are their leaders?
The camp appears to be led by a king, which we believe to be a half-dragon of the name of Resmir. Underneath Resmir there are two individuals,
Framalama Ding Dong.
Frulan Mundath
Ah,
and Signrath. Frulan Mundath serves as a chief clerk and quartermaster, and Signrath as a general and leader of troops.
And
Beneath
this-
that are various cultists who oversee the mercenaries within their employ.
And this half-dragon, this was the man who had called you out, Asir.
Based on the use of various pronouns within the common tongue, it is believed that it is in fact female, the Razmir. However, as I noted, Razmir is a half-black dragon. Signrath is the half-blue dragon, which we viewed from the
The
parallels.
man was...
He asked about the
Call
dragon that called you out.
yes.
Yes, that would be Signrath,
Yes.
the half-blue dragon. as I just
Indeed.
stated.
He was a
So why
bird.
were you talking about this?
He was a
Blue indeed
Dragon
was the
man.
color of the man. And I was unable to get a good count of the force that assaulted Green Nest. Do you have a good estimate as to their numbers?
Good estimate. We don't know how many were outside the camp. There were, say, roughly 80 kobolds, I believe, and men numbering in the 200 range.
Your estimates are bound to be more accurate than my own.
Like I said, a lot of men moving around, and who knows how many were outside the camp. But
Leosin speaks up at this point and says, I managed to catch a glimpse of some of the documents that Frulan Mandath was carrying, and in fact I saw 100 strong of the kobolds and 300 strong of the mercenaries, raiders, cultists, acolytes, and hunters. Now that is a total, and that was prior to the attacks. So the numbers after the attacks I cannot say for certain.
I'm gonna stand by my numbers.
Yes, the estimate should lie somewhere within them.
All right.
It
Why
was-
did they come here?
Specifically, they're gathering a horde. They were
Well,
seeking-
clearly they looted everything of value from us bandits, then.
That's entirely what they wanted. Merely valuables.
As tribute for a trapped god, Tiamat.
Fiction.
That is what they believe.
Is it so difficult to believe that insane cultists would have an insane purpose?
It is difficult to believe that such a force would be behind such a reason.
Not at all. A great number of, as we had said previously, the company is largely composed of mercenaries and bandits. They are being paid for through the looting. As it is, they whatever their overarching goals of the cult, which has gathered them, is moot. To the average soldier within their ranks, they are merely going from village to village,
city to city and taking everything that has any value associated with it.
It is a sad day that so many men can be bought.
Well, they have been hitting all of the major trade areas along the Sword Coast, from what I understand, and gathering all the mercenaries they could find.
Then it is safe to say that these incidences are not isolated to Green Nest.
Correct.
Where do they plan to attack next?
All major villages in this area.
If our previous captive friend would not mind marking the map to the most likely locations?
Yes, the best I heard, based on their current coordinates, Burdusk would be the most likely target for their next attacks. I will say, however, that they do not possess many means to cross the river, so there will be a choke point on the... what's the name of that river? I don't know the name of the river. I'll call it the Easting River. There will be a choke point at the bridge crossing the Easting River, if someone wishes to make use of it.
Interesting.
Burdusk, I have emissaries that I can contact that will pass the message along. Finally, what of the valuables that were taken from Green Nest? Were you able to recover any of them?
Did a hunter return with a sack and a note?
We sent him along.
I received word late last night of a man returning with something, and I don't quite understand. He was requesting to be detained?
Indeed.
It's rather odd, but he is in the dungeon now.
Yeah, he seemed to be under the... I don't know whether it was a hallucination or just some kind of misinformation, but I think he thought he was poisoned.
Well,
I don't know. Either way, he was carrying a whole bag of loot from this area.
he rifles through some papers and pulls out one of them. Looks to have been somewhat recently penned. Says, yes, the report from my captain states that the man returned with goods and requested via parchment to be incarcerated. And thus he was. He was a member of the raiding party. He's scheduled... I have a hearing scheduled for him on the morrow.
Excellent.
I'm impressed he came back. I expected him to take the stuff and run.
So you can corroborate the parchment that this man returned with.
Yes, we sent
Tobias wrote it.
Ah. He grabs that parchment back up and a quill, dabs it in an inkwell, and scribbles some notes. Says that will assist in his trial. Then. Is there anything else you wish to share about the camp? These raiders, these cultists, these dragon worshippers?
Well, we were able to at least slow them slightly in our attempts to free some of the prisoners. We were able to disperse some of their transportation, seize half of their supply wagons, and burn their command tent down. So one would hope that at least we'll buy some time for Burdusk.
Other notables include the fact that the camp was a largely permanent structure constructed of mounds of sod and large tents. It was in a horseshoe-shaped canyon, and I gave various details regarding that.
Mm-hmm. He notes them all.
Additionally, here within this cave is where we believe the majority of the valuables to be held, along with
Alleged dragon eggs.
possibly, or hatchlings as the case may be. Both were used in reference to the creatures.
His eyes go wide as he eyes you sideways. Says, well then, you have done well, and you have more than earned your share. And he pulls out those 4 bags, or 3 bags, actually, because he signed off on it. And he hands each of you one of them, and you can tell it's a sack filled with some jingly coinage. And he says, Greenness is forever in your debt, not for this task alone, but for everything that you have done for us. As I mentioned before, you will always have a roof here inside this very keep. And as you have incited potentially the wrath or the revenge of a group of cultists that seem to be intent on raising a chained goddess, you would be wise to conceal yourselves, or at least try not to make yourselves obvious. In the interim, I will send the word to Berdusk. I will inform them of a potential impending attack from these men, these cultists, and their mercenaries. In the meantime, Green Nest is indebted to you.
Thank you.
He nods to each of you and he says, and you, sir, Mr. Erlenthar, the information that you have shared is valuable to us, and again, you are in the company of the heroes of Green Nest. And for that, we are indebted to you as well. Please give my thanks to your friend Athax as well. As I see he's not with you, I trust all is well.
Indeed, he had some things to take care of.
All right. And he bids his leave of you.
I grab my sack and leave.
You would.
I take my 250 gold and my nice coat and walk out.
Everyone's got a nice coat.
We should all get matching coats.
No matching coats.
We gotta make that happen.
All of his were
Definitely.
hand-tailored, specifically for him.
So now we need a
I think we're
group
probably
name
about the same.
and matching
It's
coats.
close. Minus the tail.
With the long
The Warriors of White, so
The
we should just have
manager.
white cloaks.
Sticks out the back.
Big old
You can
sunburst.
curl it around the
Definitely
waist.
sunburst.
I'm pretty sure that's copyrighted.
Like a sand.
Is it?
Yeah.
Black cloaks?
That's all
white, black cloaks.
Definitely
Makes sense.
sunburst. We're banishing the darkness from the seedy underbelly of society.
Right, so this year goes, and we're not doing anything.
Find some
Okay, great. Campaign's over. You guys split up. You're like, that was fun. High five. Peace.
And nearly unlimited funds.
Later,
Jump up in
guys.
the air.
We
I
got
just moved
Slow-mo
off of
high
this
five.
town
Yeah.
for the
Stars.
next 30 years.
Fireworks. Spring
You were that
forward.
guy that did that one thing that
Great.
one time?
Yeah.
High five.
Oh, back in
my day. We had raiders. Killed some.
Yep.
Cast some spells. Pretty good time.
You know, honestly, if we don't really have anything that we got to do.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have just been balls to the walls, like kicking some ass for 3 days straight, so
Sleep is magic. I'm ready to go.
sleep is magic.
So, Cecile wants to head to Berdusk. Yeah. Arrive ahead of the Horde of the Dragon Queen and see what kind of stuff we can put together.
It's not a bad idea. Haven't been to Berdusk.
We have 2 horses.
Return tickets to Paris.
Well, not staying here, I can tell you that. I'm not scared of these cultists coming back.
We can see if I'm sure Athax would be willing to come along. Anything to preserve life.
It's true.
Are you attempting to talk to us while we were like
We're walking
in the
like,
meeting?
We're in the hallway. We're walking away from the meeting. We're just chit chatting. Asir's like, I'm gonna head to Berdusk because I want to get there ahead of the cultists. And Tobias is like, sure. That's the conversation that's happening. You're standing right there. Leoson's there. We don't give a fuck.
Hey, Halfman. You come with? How's that racist? That's just as accurate as half elf.
I've
Philia?
seen Athax run as fast as a horse.
Leosin
He
suggested?
couldn't keep up.
Huh? Leosin is standing there listening to this
You ever seen
conversation.
Athax punch a
He's
horse?
addressing me, not the
Totally do
DM.
that.
I'm pretty sure.
Correct.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
What are your plans? Do you wish to continue traveling with these
Do you
gentlemen?
want to fetch him in here with
Ogma, I believe?
the
Yes,
one that he has
Ogma.
with him, or shall we just meet him as we leave?
And they are quite interesting.
Probably arrangements will need to be made.
And personalities are not something that I find common.
Yes. Would you like my scimitar or my dagger?
I can't disagree.
The creature does not appear to be of any immediate danger, and perhaps he knows something more of the kobold than
Well, I should like to travel with them.
It's very true. Perhaps we could even
Circumstances
use
could
him
come up,
to
and
infiltrate
that may become
or
impossible.
gather information.
But
If the creature
one
can
never
be
knows
trusted,
what the future has in hold.
I doubt that. He might be useful for simpler ploys, but
Gentlemen of Ogma, as he kind of glances at the symbols that you have that are visible, if any.
Codpiece.
He checks out your junk.
I'm probably wearing some nice clothes because we're not like infiltrating anything.
You know codpiece?
Well, yeah, I got a cod piece.
Okay.
I said nice clothes.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Sequence?
Leosin says,
Read this test.
after all you've already done for me personally, and for the people of Green Nest, I hate to ask anything more from you, but
I'm gonna anyway.
the need is clearly great, and I dare to hope that you can aid me perhaps one more time. I need you to return to the cultists' camp.
That does not sound wise.
But you know your way around it. If the cultists are preparing to conduct another raid, or a large body of them marches away, or if anything substantial is carried into or out of that cave, I need to know. If you have a chance to get into the camp and look around again, that would be the ideal way to spot anything for certain. As I said, their intentions were originally to move to Berdusk next. But I also heard Resmir speak of how bountiful Green Nest was. Perhaps those designs have changed. We need to know for certain. But I don't recommend letting yourself get captured again. He says with a wry smile.
Unfortunately, each of us were spotted as a group by Fromland.
I
I don't care what your name is.
We have each been recognized, taken prisoner individually. Leary, in these parts, is distinguished.
That is actually something I thought about when I was going back through and editing. The information we received was that Fromland was in charge of pretty much the mercenaries. Like, they would go to
One
war.
individual soldier who happens to be a tiefling, like, what does she give a shit?
That's just it. There was no tieflings in that camp.
Yeah, but what does
If
she
she
care?
had hired a tiefling, that would have been something that stuck in her mind.
Not necessarily.
Maybe.
One tiefling in an army of everybody
that
else.
supposes that she saw every single soldier at some point.
Clearly, she was an administrator of sorts. She had all the documentation, and she had all the records. That doesn't mean that she hired everybody.
I'm sure she spoke to the leader of every bandit company and wrote down how many guys he was bringing with. But she didn't necessarily shake hands with everybody and kiss all their babies.
Yeah, there were a couple of hundred raiders, most of them mercenaries. She probably didn't meet everybody.
The idea that there is a tiefling amongst her mercenaries, not that big a stretch.
Look, all I'm asking for before you take a journey to Berdusk.
Is that we should go and invade a camp where we are already...
No, do not invade! You misunderstand, Mr.
Yes,
Asir.
stealthily enter.
Investigate. It's only a couple of miles away. Subterfuge is key here. If you see that they are mobilizing to make the attack, then we go to Berdusk. We have horses, we can outpace them. But do not travel there before we know they're heading in that direction. Things have changed significantly since you have arrived.
We could.
That is
take-
all I'm asking. I'll give you each 150 gold.
Well, there's a way we could probably make that work. I have some ideas. all we're doing is watching where they go. We can undoubtedly outpace them once we know their direction. We don't have to enter the camp.
I'm considering approaching the camp from the alternative direction of the peaks. We will be able to spy on them from
Above.
Agreed.
Okay, we will consider doing so after we consult with the entire...
Take your time.
group.
I do not think that they will make any rash movements. Rezmir is not that type. At least, not typically.
It would behoove you, Master Leeson, to attempt to discern how might we send a message from our location to Green Nest ahead of ourselves, if such were able.
I know not of any means, save for fast horse travel.
This is why I ask you to consider how you would go about doing so, while we ensure that we are all aboard with your mission.
Master Asir, I understand your perspective. Unfortunately, I know not of any means. I will speak with those that I know here in Green Nest, but I can guarantee nothing. So Leosin Erlenthar has just offered the group 150 gold pieces each to return to the... Not up front, but to return to the Cult of the Dragon camp and report on any activities about them potentially mobilizing another attack. He mentioned he doesn't believe it's going to happen anytime soon. So feel free to rest up. Keeping in mind, of course, the last 3 days have been intense for all of you. I don't know how that compares to the rest of your lives, but 3 days of intense combat and fighting and escaping and running and more fighting.
I retrained in Warforged, since that's now available. So
Nice. Okay, you don't have to eat, sleep, or breathe.
Nice how much quieter this place is in Concord.
Oh, do you have chainsaw strands?
no,
You should work on
Just one.
no, just for nuts.
that. Chainsaw dick.
No, I did nuts.
So, tell me what happens after that, Leary.
Well, when a man and a woman...
What happens after that?
Genitalia.
Well, Tobias and I were headed out. I was going to go find Athax.
Okay. Athax is hanging out in the middle of the green fields with Kruthox, the kobold. And as you approach, it's pretty clear that Athax is trying to teach the kobold something. And the kobold is trying to understand. I'm not sure how patient you are as a person.
I
Doing his Tai Chi
am
shit?
most patient. Yeah,
Like
I think I'd be sitting in like a lotus position,
Okay.
trying to teach him to emulate that, and just like heighten his awareness of the area around him.
Okay.
And if that takes
14 years.
hallucinogenic drugs that are readily available in the area, I would probably do that.
Wow, no. He just doesn't quite get it for a while. So you can tell that this subject, he has potential, but he's not the quickest learner, probably because you don't speak the same
The
language.
language barrier, yeah, I
It's
get
huge.
that.
What kind of coconuts?
African.
All right.
Ooh, the biggest.
A couple of horses ride up on you, and you
I'd
see
punch both of them.
they die. Asir and...
Are you here?
Were you going with them?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So Asir and Tobias ride up on you.
I'd kind of like, spring to my feet, not, when I hear him coming,
Mhm.
get the little kobold behind me and get my fists up, ready to punch any horses or people riding on those horses. Until I see this.
As you're all tense, he taps you on the back and he says, "Peace."
What?
Whatever.
That's it. That's all he says.
Okay.
And you're like, whatever, dude.
What's up,
You-
bro?
Hey, how did it go in the town?
We got paid.
Good for you.
And we've informed the governor of everything that we learned in the camp.
Yeah, sure as heck.
Excellent. I've been out here. I spent the night out here with Kruthox, the little kobold here.
How is he as a
Grootox!
Kruthox.
They're good!
What's he been teaching you?
He likes to sit a lot and not hit things.
I know.
To be fair, I haven't sat a lot in your company.
Do you like to not hit things?
I do really enjoy hitting things, but only hard enough that they get up eventually.
Unless they're chains. Chains can die.
Chains just get fucking torn in half like phone books.
Exactly.
Sounds terribly exciting.
We've come upon another request to go back to the camp.
Why?
To verify where they're going next.
Hey,
We don't plan to enter, just watch from afar.
okay, that seems ideal.
We've been offered a sum of money, not that you seem interested in that.
Says who?
Fair enough. Well, there's a sum of money possibly on the table for you. Like 15, 20 gold.
That's a lot.
Do you really say
I haven't had that much.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, roll deception. You're lying.
What am I lying?
Fuck you. You're lying.
Specified.
Yes, it was. You said 150.
19.
Perception?
Insight.
I rolled
Oh!
Natural one.
Okay.
Sweet.
Every word.
I haven't had that much gold in a very long time.
Well, sounds like pretty easy coin, and it aligns with our previous goals of finding more about these.
We had, right.
Yeah.
Not entirely. It is worth mentioning that if it can be arranged when the inhabitants of the camp leave, we will send word ahead to wherever we believe they are headed. But then it is our desire to enter the whatever remains in the camp.
Investigate.
It seems
Yes.
dangerous.
I'd like to see what's in those caves.
But at the same time, when they raided Green Nest, Signraven left the camp, and that means it wouldn't be at. That could work.
Also gives us the opportunity of possibly retrieving some of the lost wealth from this region,
Or a dragon egg.
or gathering dragon eggs and or hatchlings
That'd be neat.
for future months. That part, not so much.
Kruthox,
What
do you think?
I think.
Good.
Proud of you.
He smiles. He speaks in Draconic to the man who addressed him earlier in Draconic, and he says, I do not understand your conversation, but this one appears to wish my opinion.
We know.
Can you summarize?
He sounds really intelligent.
Yeah, when you're speaking in your own language.
We've asked him if he is interested in a dangerous task.
None of you have shied from danger so far.
He is interested, I think, if you wish to join us. It is probably not wise. You will likely perish.
I think the opposite. If it involves the cult of the dragon, I know it well.
Could be true.
I think I stand to survive even better than you all.
Challenge accepted.
Like the corner of his ear's mouth twitches twice. Your friend is anxious to join.
Great.
Anxious!
Well, then shall we see if they would like to join us?
I believe she was interested, but yes.
Could I ask a favor of the two of you? You both speak his common tongue, correct?
I do.
10.
I could do that.
Very good. If I'm interested in learning, if you two are willing to teach,
It'll take some time.
obviously have no coin to
Well,
teach you, but I'm willing to learn.
if we had the time, I'd say probably by this time next year, we could make you fluent.
Probably before that, at least a few words.
That's all I ask, with perhaps cursory knowledge, just to be able to better communicate with my people here.
How are you with scripts?
I read Common.
No, you
No,
don't.
You don't read.
Specifically
You
said
read
you didn't.
Sylvan.
Oh yeah, I did read
Health potions.
I read the language of the Fae.
Okay. It's not the same symbols used in Draconic, but we could potentially teach you that as well.
I'm not proficient in that script. Have you any?
From what I understand, it's very akin to Elven.
Indeed. Indeed.
How, by the way, is it that you can write in the language of Fae but not in the common tongue?
I didn't really spend a lot of time among people growing up.
Just fair.
I have had dealings with the Fae. I grew up around the Fae people.
Actually, you didn't know it, Athax, for many years, but one of the people that you called friend from a very young age was a very beautiful woman. She was always older than you until you got much older, and then she seemed to be about the same age. It was almost as if she didn't age. Weird. I know. You never really put two and two together for many, many years until eventually one day she brought you to her home, which was this beautiful glade, and you literally saw her walk into a tree. And that's where she called home, and she understood that you couldn't live there. She explained to you what a dryad was.
I would kill them all.
No.
Yes.
Yep.
They are
It'd be
very
like
peaceful.
thousands of voices were crying out, and
The tears of infinite sadness. So, you had spent
then hate trees.
some time with a dryad,
Okay,
and she had taught you the script.
I would totally not relate that, but I did.
You know that, and that's your thing.
Yeah, I would. Grew up among the Fae.
Where did they touch you?
It's none of your business, friend.
That's fair. I think I understand you more than what you say. But we can teach you this thing. It'll just take time.
Greatly appreciate it. I can pay you back in any way you see fit. That's
Done
fair.
and done.
I don't Dutch rudder.
I'm going to ride my horse away now.
What? Someone with
I do good.
interest in learning more
You
just
great.
right away.
I don't want to learn the Dutch rudder.
Okay.
Where
You're
now?
being specific now. I can see.
We're gonna follow his horse until we get back to the camp. We're going back again. You know, you were there. Then
No.
you came here.
Camp
and then
me
you went back
good.
there,
Camp me good.
and then you came back here. But now we're gonna go back there again.
Avex,
I do good.
do you need anything from town?
No, I'm good. I got my blanket and my bedroll.
You're hungry.
No, I ate some rations.
Mark it off.
They just resupply. Like, they're just always there.
Oh, rations are infinite in
Yeah,
this
I
game.
just bought one because
Ooh.
you just keep eating the one.
Well,
right?
restaurants are going to go broke.
That's right. I haven't seen any.
How much do you really care?
Does
I care that you guys don't have infinite resources. That's what I care about. So if that means charging you guys for rations, then that's what I got to do.
I had spent the day using my survival skill and fed myself and crew dogs.
Okay,
Roll.
great.
Yeah.
Roll.
Check.
Oh.
400.
Oh. 13.
Kruthox crits.
He's a beast.
I know. And he aids you guys in hunting for the day. So that's irrelevant.
Just to be sure, Asir provides AFAX with some of the non-previously specified amount of rations that were taken from the multiple groups that we encountered on the road for the past 2 days.
Oh, great.
So you have those.
Cool.
So AJ can fill you in on the specific number of days worth of rations that you have and that I have and that we also received from Governor tonight.
That's the total sum of them.
That would be the thing. Yeah. What, 20?
No. Right
Our
there.
max carrying capacity. With
Max
No.
carrying capacity? I'm just going, Meals on Wheels, bitches!
So, we head out.
Hot Pockets for everybody.
Oh, I hate Hot Pockets.
Where do you gather everybody up?
And
Does-
then...
Form a posse.
Uh-huh.
I want to ask you two to ask him if he needs anything from the town.
Who's he?
Kruthox.
Kruthox.
Alright, yeah, we asked him.
the
What'd he
Devourer.
say?
He's not very good with the scimitar. He admitted that to you earlier in the day.
I throw a dagger at him.
He dies.
I bring him back to life.
I
Trades you the scimitar for the dagger.
Cool, I go in and trade it for a dagger in town.
Okay, you
Chunk
succeed.
to death with your own intro. A sling too. Get a sling. I've seen him use slings. He's probably pretty good.
That's
at
the
that.
only thing he asked for from the town was a sling, and perhaps he can find his own rocks.
Oh.
How about a bag of ball bearings?
He
1,000 of them. For the gold.
You-
Sling.
Okay, sweet. He picks rocks. So you have no fucking clue what you just said.
Punch him in the face.
He does.
Carry him over my shoulder.
Okay, he's got 9 lives. So.
Monster.
I know. All right, sweet. Leary, you've been alone with Leosin for about an hour, a couple, 3. Anything in particular you want to happen? Whoa. Shit just got frisky.
It swipes now?
I probably could pretty easily.
Swipe.
But
Swiper, no swipe.
no.
Agreed.
Swiping.
I would.
Oh, man.
He's such a...
Would you like to join me on the wall?
The wall. He looks down at his wounds and his malnourished form and says, I don't think I would do well up there, Falaya. But if you insist, I will join you.
I believe the air higher up.
That is wise. Yeah, he goes up there with you. Sits up on one of the crenellations of the wall.
Good use of that.
Pull out my flute and then just start playing just like calming music.
He lays his head back up against some of the stone and kind of he drifts off, not sleeping, but daydreaming, zoning out as he's listening to the tune. Give me a charisma check. Perform proficiency.
That is a 21.
After you play him a tune, very well played tune, you actually note that while you're playing, a few passerby stop and they just stop what they're doing to listen. Some people were going about their daily business and trying to make money. Some people were working, and they just stop and they just kind of bob their head and tap their foot. And when you're finished, Leosin claps, and you actually hear a couple of other random claps come from people off the wall, and says,
Being up on the wall is pretty far.
it'll carry the tune, absolutely. He says, Hi, Falaya. Thanos mentioned your skill with the wind instruments. I had yet to hear it. Larry, was there anything else that you hoped to accomplish before leaving Leosin?
Drop a deuce.
Now that I've gotten him kind of relaxed,
Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
You should have gone higher.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry.
What's wrong with people?
why me?
Whatever do you mean?
What about me would cause you to risk so much to pull me out from where I was?
You were in peril.
He kind of sits back. You can see. Give me a either perception or insight, whatever you prefer.
Shit at both of them.
I'll be better. I'm pretty sure.
Not good enough.
Reroll.
Why reroll?
Well, because it was like half on one, half on another.
That's what we call it.
It's called a cock die,
Cock
but I
die.
can't make that term in front of these people. So
I don't know what you mean.
10, perfect. Okay,
You're talking about
you can
Jackson?
tell that his demeanor. He went from relaxed to more serious, and sets up. And he's like, "You were in peril. I had heard of your situation, as had others in my organization." He looks around, sees that nobody's really nearby, and he says, the Harpers make it a point to make things their business that they deem worthy, and your situation was deemed worthy. I will not speak for my superiors, of course. You understand, I am not a leader in this organization. It's a difficult to describe organization, but our leadership is fractured. There are those that I report to, and there are those that report to me. Ultimately, we wish to simply share information and stop any circumstances that we deem will bring our particular regions out of balance. The Sword Coast, specifically, as you well know, is ran by merchant families, and yours is a wealthy one. And while you personally might not reap the benefits now, you lived in luxury, and there were those that sought to remove you from that. But not simply to bring your house down, for who you are and what you have, or at least what they think you might have. You do realize that your situation is unique. Yes?
I suppose, looking at it from an external point of view, one might see myself as something more than I am.
Well, of course. To you, you are what you are, and it's nothing more. To others, this is a contract that spans worlds. That is something not everyone can fathom. And understand that there are those whose minds are either educated enough or not educated enough to understand that might have certain repercussions along with it. You are nothing more to me than a kind woman stuck in a horrible situation against your will. And a good friend of mine and I worked to remove you from that situation. And only one of us lived. And I know that his death was not for nothing. Because you being exploited for whatever you may have or whatever you may gain or whatever they may do to you, or at least think they could have done to you, makes it all worth it.
But surely there are others who might have greater purpose than I.
I'm sure there are.
Even amongst those of Om.
Indeed there are. For certain there are. And there's one amongst your company who knows many from his homeland that are of a similar situation. So perhaps the opposing houses to Mysteros thought that you were convenient. Thought that you would be an easy target. Thought that you would be something they could spend little resources on to gain much profit. That's what runs Am, isn't it?
That is what I have learned.
And Phalia, it is up to you to decide whether or not they were right. It is up to you to live your life now however you choose, wherever your path takes you. That will ultimately determine whether or not their efforts were misguided. It matters to me little where you go and what you do, save that you live, save that you are not in peril, save that my efforts were justified, save that the death of my companion is not for naught. What matters is that House Mysteros is no longer keeping captive one of their own. And the surrounding houses, especially Dacilos, does not benefit from that.
It is the second time you've brought up that name.
It's a powerful house. And one that your father is quite close to.
How familiar are you with the houses of Am?
Again, I am not a high-ranking member of the Harpers, but what I am is a man of many worlds, of many trades, that has been to many places, and I have heard many things. And Am is a land of merchants, money, and secrets. Secrets are currency in Am.
Yes, and one of the greatest tenders of their kind.
I wish not to misspeak or paint a picture that is greater or different than it is, for I know not but what I have been told, and that is this house sought you, and I was asked to prevent that from happening.
Dacilos sought me.
Or your removal from Mysteros.
And that is all you know.
Yes. Roll insight.
And initiative.
16.
You could have opted.
You believe him.
I'm in fact
You beat it out of me.
with bicycle. We'll see.
But you are free now, Phalia. I heard your companion call you Else.
Ah, yes. A name I chose to help keep myself hidden from those who would seek me.
A wise decision. If you wish, I will call you that henceforth, to maintain the cover.
It would probably be for the best. Leary.
Leary it was. Excellent. Leary, I seek to travel to a city known as El Turel. Your companions have agreed to seek information about this camp and whether or not they are moving out against Berdusk, mobilizing against another attack. I must travel to El Turel, and I must share the information that I have gathered thus far with another member of another organization that have recently partnered with the Harpers.
Oh shit.
All I can ask is that you and your companions gather as much information as you can about the camp, about the hatchery, what they have in there, where they're planning to go next if they haven't, where they're planning to go next, if you can, and if you can get into the hatchery, find out what's going on with those dragon eggs, because that is of the utmost importance here. A cult of a dragon with dragon eggs, what do you think they will do with those dragons?
Should we destroy the eggs?
Dragon omelets.
That is up for you
Oh my
and your
God.
companions to decide. I
So delicious.
cannot speak on the dragons themselves, for I have heard tales of good dragons. Perhaps they're holding them captive, much like you were held captive.
Then it would be best if they saw the freedoms of this world. If they can act within them. If they cannot go.
Again, it is up for you to decide. I must travel to Eltroel when I'm feeling well enough, perhaps on the morrow. If you do not return by the time I have left, please come to Eltroel with whatever information you have gathered. Bring your companions there. I will be there. I will meet you there. If you tarry for too long, I must move on, of course. I have other contacts that I must meet and share this information with. I'm sure you understand. The information that we have gathered is sensitive. Do not document it scripturally. Verbal only.
It's too obvious in the fighting.
I know, right?
Yeah, we're not right out of this shit now.
Feel as if the governor has already documented much of the similar state of the information.
I understand, but you cannot connect you, myself, the Harpers, or any named individuals to this cult, just in case anyone is watching. Resmir is wise. Resmir is cunning.
Listen.
She will know. She has eyes. About. How do you think I was caught?
Because he tried to invade a camp.
You went unseen, and you are far more obvious than I. She knew that I was searching for information. She knew of me prior. How? I do not know. But she knew of me prior.
A betrayal within your order. A betrayal within your order.
It's possible, but unlikely. You will find me in Elchuel. I will have your companions' pay in hand there. If you cannot find me by word of mouth, look for a man named Onthar Froom. That's Ontarr.
Oh, on the sixth day.
Onthar Froom. Frume. He is a paladin of the Order of Torn and a member of an organization called the Silver Ravens.
What do they seek?
I know not.
Your order allied with an order, yet you have no idea what they want.
He is only a man I have met once, Phalia. I'm good, but I'm not that good. I know not everything of every organization in Faerun. I don't have Google. Fuck you guys.
Yet your order is willing to work with them?
Clearly, he is respected and trusted by my superiors, and that is all that matters. So,
Guess if you trust him, but one lesson I learned very quickly at Ob. Those around you are not to be trusted without very careful study.
well, then you have learned much in little time, Phalia. Good luck to you and yours. I'll see you in Elturel.
And to you as well.
He takes his leave of you.
I will
The group
stay on the wall.
The group meets up.
Play music.
You hear Leary playing music up on the wall as you approach the keep.
Am I with them?
Just
You just run up on the wall.
Come here,
pick me
bitch.
up over your shoulder,
Come with us. No.
drag me out of the castle.
If you want, I can
No, it's fine. You
talk
got-
in character. But we all get together and we start heading towards the camp.
Sweet.
I
I just want to make sure that you guys want to do it the same day.
Why not?
Every day.
Yeah, we're all ready to go.
Well, I mean, you spent all day doing all of these things, so it's getting later in the day. So you will arrive again at night, and I don't know if that's to your
That's
advantage or
perfect.
not.
I can see.
We're gonna
You
loop-
can see
We're gonna loop around
in
We're
the
making
dark.
The kobold buddies.
We're making a nice wide berth here. Our goal
A
is
circuit,
to,
if you would.
if you will, see who play, as they say in Franzosish.
No.
We're making a wide berth so that we come at the camp from the top of one of the cliffs.
Torches, lamps, sunrods.
We'll have those things, but we won't be following at all like the trail of the camp. And if they're out in force, then they're going to have torches too. If it's kobold parties, then we'll lull at them because fuck them.
Or I can guide you through the dark because I can
torches.
see.
Eyes, whatever.
Oh! Twisting my ankle.
Knife eye attack. Yeah.
Fucking knife attack.
Fucking knife
I mean,
attack.
yeah, I like we could do that, but I think with like horses and stuff, it's probably better if we just have some light with our party. But you could scout ahead of us while we're going.
Look out for knives.
Yeah. They're nice.
Do you want a horse, Leary?
Oh,
I want a horse.
Do you want a horse?
The horse can't fucking see
Do you
unless you
need a
have a light. That's a thing.
And bar.
True. If I'm going to be scouting ahead, then the horse needs to not move faster than me.
Beat the shit out of while stealthing.
While
Right.
stealthing.
And during our nighttime movements, that'll matter. Later, if we decide that we want to make a hasty escape on horseback.
Oh, just a clay.
Athax runs like a horse, so I mean,
She can just ride Athax.
You
Is
could
your
just-
wait?
you could just ride-
Athax, is your speed better than a normal person?
It's 40, bitch!
How does that happen?
I'm a
A
monk,
monk.
level 2!
Okay.
Eventually, you
level
can run
two.
on water.
So I mean, that's
You're
true.
fucking amazing.
Yeah,
you could-
eventually I can move
Or if
60
you wanted, you
acres.
could double up with one of us on a
Fucking
horse.
awesome.
Whoever's not riding with a kobold.
I'll be that kobold.
Yeah, the kobold moves at 30.
I would probably prefer riding with the seer.
Yes.
He's got too many monitors on his.
Wait,
Too many
you're-
what?
Monitors.
Monitors?
Monitors.
Yeah,
Monitors.
Monitors.
Acer?
You're gonna ride with the kobold?
Yes.
Oh
No,
my
no,
god.
Anyways, it's Acer. So we're gonna head over there then. We'll move in the night. During the night, you'll be scouting ahead.
How close to the camp are you going to get with your torches?
Hold on, Trogdor comes in the night, I believe.
Oh yeah, he's with us too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
If you're
he's a
comfortable
man.
with it, he's scouting with you up there.
he's a man.
He's a dragon
He's
man.
a dragon
Okay.
man.
So
You can burn this whole village.
Korthok?
Kruthox.
You were really close.
Okay,
All right,
pay attention.
Kruthox. Kremlin Ding Dong. Out there. Fucking
Ding dong.
Leary. They're scouting ahead. We're taking a wide berth. It's probably going to take us, I don't know, it takes us a couple hours on horseback to get there, so it'll probably take us like 5 minutes scouting around the outside.
Stabbing
you.
from behind.
Like half a day.
Just chopping wood.
So it's
Kobold
nearing evening. It's evening when you leave, so it's late at night when you arrive.
Whoa,
So-
who said that?
I said that.
Okay.
You guys spent all fucking day doing all this shit.
And?
Talking, playing, eating, talking, meeting, paying, meditating, training.
Talking, playing, eating, talking, playing. Sorry. All right, so yeah, we it's the middle of the night when we arrive. We're up on the thing.
How close to the camp do you want to get, Miss? I don't have a light because I'm a dark vision demon.
Weirdo.
Jesus.
I don't know. How close do we want to get?
Well, once you can see the ridge, I'm thinking you come back to us and let us know, and we put out our torches and we approach the ridge and cover up darkness.
Leaving the horses behind.
No, we'll push him off. It'll be a distraction.
No,
Charge!
we'll leave them in the care of Kruthox.
You don't put that much trust in this little bastard? You only met
What's
him
he gonna do?
yesterday?
Steal my horses?
Oh, man.
I explained to him slowly in Dragonic how to take care of these things.
He
and then-
looks at you like you're retarded. Yeah, I know.
There
It's
are
a
horses.
horse.
You rope
I
it.
explained to him in Dragonic that if he fails to take care of the horses, that I will find him and end him.
Athax doesn't like killing.
Yeah.
Athax can't fucking stop me, and I intimidate him.
I'll tend to the horses.
I could move over to the cliff edge.
All you gotta do is chop
Stand
one of his arms off.
precariously close to the precipice.
I will,
Dexterity save. No.
I will kick him right in the ass off the cliff and let gravity
Jesus.
kill him instead
Wow. Athax the murderer.
It wasn't me.
Hey, you've transformed him.
Feel the force of terminal velocity slamming my organs into the ground.
Yes.
That'll be
It
my
wasn't
last
me.
thought right before I am crushed. Is he finally knows what is necessary?
No.
Swat.
Perfectly alive.
Gotcha,
after-
fucker!
You were just fine after my foot left your keister. It was you hitting the ground at the bottom of the chasm.
So, anyways,
That killed you.
Yeah.
there we are at the top. We're looking down into the camp. Do we see a bunch of fire?
No.
Is the camp empty? Balls?
What is my night vision?
Not much.
Well, you got to remember, the tops of the plateaus that surround the raiders' camp, and it's late at night, and you guys are once again tired because you've been up all fucking day,
I meditated all day.
and it's late at night.
We weren't doing anything all day.
It doesn't matter. You do it if you don't do anything all day. That actually makes you tired earlier. It's really fucked up. So anyway, when you get to the camp, if you recall, the tops of the walls that surround the horseshoe of a camp were like 140 feet up. So your dark vision actually doesn't really help in this particular instance from this distance. Now, your dark vision helped you scout, helped you see ahead of the horses to direct it around that stump, around those boulders, blah, blah, blah. But once you get up to the camp and you peer down into it, it doesn't really assist you. However, those without dark vision, and you with dark vision, in fact, everybody is able to tell the number of fires, torchlight, among others, is significantly reduced. In fact, you only see 3 torches lit in the entire camp. And those 3 torches are relatively close to each other. And here is a map of the raiders' camp. If you recall, the section, if this direction is north up here, these were the tents that were closest to the cave. This was the leader tent that was lit on fire by Tobias as he was running. That is the captain camp tent. The only 3 torches you see are 3 little huts in this area here. And they're all relatively close to each other.
That's relatively close to the cobalt section over there?
The cobalt section was definitively at the entrance of the camp, which is level 1 up here. These two do happen to be close to level 1. They're basically on the decline, on the slope that leads down
So
into...
just into level 2?
Exactly.
Before level 3.
Where are we?
You said you wanted to circle around, so you're like...
Figured we were up. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I thought you wanted to go all the way around.
There's a tower up on the top on that side.
Can I see that tower?
Yeah.
Are there people in that tower?
No. There's nobody in the guard tower. So you wanted to make a wide berth and circle around, so my assumption is you came in from the south, which is this direction here.
Okay, I was imagining the north because by that map, it looks like that side has a lower cliff. But
This is way steeper. That's what this is kind of depicting.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't see the
yeah,
cliff face.
we want that. Sure.
It's definitely steeper. However, you guys, climbing down here would be extremely difficult. You could do it with ropes if you secured them to boulders.
150 feet of rope.
It's not an issue.
I think I get mine.
Just keep in mind it will require checks. If you were over here, you could scamper down
Were
without
we
checks.
able to procure a climbing kit before we left?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
so that
it's
I
only
can
50 gold.
crucify people. Forgot about that.
So we have the crucifixion.
You need the
kit.
pythons to crucify. You got that. Your character wouldn't forget that shit.
right.
It's important.
Fuck that.
So you
You're financing that, right?
No.
Tobias, Leary explains to Tobias the layout. Tobias explains that entering from the direction of where the brush is, which is here in the southeast. You approach, you look, you see there's only 3 torches lit, and they're all within the same illuminated vicinity.
Yeah, we're totally going to tie up a rope and climb down.
I dimension door over to directly before the
So-
flashlight hits.
You're
And then I
so
cast
fucking
Fireball.
awesome. Yeah. God, I want to beat Tobias. All right. So you really tie a rope together, and
You climb down into the camp?
Yeah, that's the plan.
If everyone else wants to do that, sure.
We could just go around.
Do any of you have a definitively sensitive sense of smell?
Yes. I am extremely
That makes
observant
sense.
with my sense of smell.
You sense the fragrance of burning hair,
Gross.
and I don't know how else to explain it. It smells like burnt hair and like if you bake a loaf of bread for too long.
Like,
Whatever
what
that's.
specifically does that smell like?
Fuck you. I
Whatever
hate you.
that smells. The guy that can't smell.
Would you rather say
smells.
burning?
Smells like burning hair.
And bread.
Burning hair.
And breasts.
Okay, fine. Fuck you guys. This is exactly what it says.
Yeah, you should do that since you don't have a sense of smell.
The stinking huts of the kobolds have been burned.
Okay.
Okay, good, because that would not smell at all like what you described.
No, that wouldn't.
Because it was like
They don't even
animal
Burned
hides.
bread and hair.
It was animal hides.
Equals
And-
kobolds.
and-
I can see how you came to that.
But you're
That's not
totally
smell
wrong.
Like that.
Fuck.
It smelled like...
For the
Just
listeners, I don't have a sense of smells.
Called anosmia.
This is some bullshit. Alright. Whatever. The stinking huts of the kobolds have clearly been burned. The fires are extinguished. And so all you can barely make out in the firelight is some wisps of smoke. And the horrid stench assaults Tobias's nostrils. The guard towers remain, but are unmanned. You tie a couple of ropes together, and you begin descent. Who did the rope tying?
Who took used rope?
Oh,
Use
shit.
rope is not a skill.
I
Whatever. I did.
Give me a dex check.
It took hours doing it.
Fuck you, no
That's
you
what I
didn't.
was doing all day before we left.
Bullshit, you didn't know you needed to do it.
That I wasn't going to climb down.
Bam!
All right.
It was his idea to go to the top of the cliff.
Can
there.
I
There.
assist
What'd you
him?
get?
That.
Well, I can't see it, faggot.
Get
Can
your
I
fucking
assist him
eyes.
for advantage?
16.
Okay. No, you don't.
My God.
How are you going to assist somebody tying a knot?
Oh, I'll use my athletics skill and help him
Make sure it's
snub
tight.
them knots down.
I
pretty good.
deceive the rope.
Shut up.
I consult my knowledge of the history of knots.
Makes sense to me.
Alright, you guys fucking suck today.
Fucking ropes together, and we climb down.
Okay, a 16 is good enough to tie some fucking ropes together without them falling apart halfway down. Congratulations, you've descended into the camp. Kruthox is back with the horses. How many horses total?
There'd be a
Two.
Sears horse.
It's just
to
two
buy
horses.
a
2
horse.
horses with
The
Kruthox.
same two we stole.
Excellent.
He's in
Okay.
camp with them?
No,
No, he's waiting
Kruthox is
above.
back
Oh.
with the horses.
Oh, okay.
You have climbed down into the camp. What next?
There are no
Power
horses.
Yeah, I thought he meant like back.
They're
as
gone
in,
now.
Like, back in the
What
saddle.
next?
I punched the horses.
You're not fine.
What's going on?
We're in the camp. Yep, we just climbed
We're
down
down
the
here
cliff.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's quiet.
Just point me at something fist first.
All right, right over there are 3 little torches. Go over there and knock those 3 guys unconscious.
All right, I'm gonna go do that.
There might be more than 3 guys.
I know.
Okay.
We're gonna
I'm
head
only
towards the
knocking out
cave.
3 though.
Jesus.
So you're making your way towards the torchlight?
Totally. Let's do this.
Alright,
You
follow along.
circle around the southern edge of the camp, following the plateau wall, the ridge wall, and you get behind some boulders that are over here, and you actually hear some conversation. You can't quite make out what they're saying, but you can tell that there are, in fact, at least 2, maybe 3 distinct voices conversing.
I'm gonna listen rather intently then.
Make a perception check. Reroll.
And that one,
That was cocked.
It's all cocked.
What was that?
10.
Wow, you suck at listening.
Hey, suck it. 13.
Wow,
Okay.
that sucks.
All you're able to make out is something about arrow and blood trail.
Solid.
I'll head back to the group and relay that information.
Voila.
We're headed over to the cave.
Useful. Oh, hey. Shots. No shots.
Okay.
So you don't wish to go and secure this location?
I thought that that's what he was going to do.
There
Apparently
are
not.
3-ish people over there. They were saying something about Arrow and Blood Trail, and I thought that might be good for you guys to know.
Well, if we don't want them to alert anyone who may still be nearby, I suggest we approach their area from all directions and take them out quickly.
Sure. We can hide the bodies.
In the closet.
Stay here, Apex.
Why?
To watch for in case reinforcements are moving about the camp.
We're moving to the other side so that we can encircle and attack from all sides.
So, wait until I hear you go in and then go?
Sure.
Or just stay over here with Leary and guard the road. We'll be right back after we've rendered them unconscious.
Inside?
You sure that's wise? We don't know for certain how many people are there. Could be outnumbered.
All right. We will all approach from all directions then. Let's go.
Larry?
Yeah,
How do you respond to that?
we've got cover of darkness. It'd be easier to surprise them.
Okay.
And
So, how do you prepare?
attempting to get numbers advantage is pretty intelligent.
All right. So you all charge the encampment from
all
4 different directions?
Yep. Screaming and brandishing our weapons.
Or, as a group, we
Howls
walk
echoing
within
into the
range
night.
for Tobias to see their torchlight and actually give us some reconnaissance information.
What?
Because
That's
he's got a wicked perception.
I already gave all the
we got
reconnaissance
all-
information.
There's
that you
something
need.
about blood and arrows.
Arrows and blood
And
trails.
a number of people somewhere around,
Yeah,
potentially
once
some
we're
amount.
within charging distance from all directions,
Three-ish.
here pops up his black hood and just charges in to cut some bitches.
See?
Game over.
That's how we scout.
That is how we scout.
I already scouted.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. We don't need.
And you scouted badly.
You guys decided to send me, so that's what you get.
Okay. So you guys moved to within about 30 feet or so. I don't know how you're going to do this all directions thing because it's up on a slope, so you'd have to go around, climb up the slope, and come in from the north. But
Yeah, do that.
Yes.
so who's doing that?
I want to handle that one.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
come down the hill fist first.
I think
Yeah.
I should probably do that. I have the most experience with downward hill assaulting.
You also have disadvantage on stealth
Heavy armor.
checks.
Not anymore.
Boom!
Oh la la!
Or advantage on stealth checks versus no advantage on stealth checks.
That's true.
I don't like advantage.
Amazing. When he touches me, I'm better at stealth than you.
Who's coming from the north?
That's
All right, Apex is. Boom, done.
wow. Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Are you waiting for a cue, or are you rushing in right away?
Scouted.
I'd wait for a cue.
What's your cue?
I'm gonna smell them coming.
No.
I think I yell.
Nothing has a smell in my world. Go on.
What?
Next.
Oh.
Why'd you read out of the thing
Next.
that said that the thing smelled like the thing?
Well, we've noticed from when we encountered the rear guard that if someone shouts out the word "now," that's sufficient to still gain a surprise round. So we
That's-
will shout the word "now."
And that's when I'll accrue a surprise round.
So you're waiting for somebody to yell now?
Yeah, anybody.
Who's yelling now?
Nobody, because I run in there and kill them first.
Okay. So nobody's gonna yell now.
Oh, that sucks because I have the flaw. No.
I have a feat.
Whatever, I yell now. What happens then?
What?
I
Okay.
run in and punch people. Whenever other people start cutting people in half, I'll
Oh
go
my
in and try and
God.
knock people out.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's worth
The
it
party
because-
encircles the torch-lit encampment. Asir and Athax both charge into the encampment with Leary and Tobias standing near the outskirts of the torchlight. As Asir and Athax become visible to the individuals in this encampment, they also note the individuals in this encampment, which happen to be 3 dudes that are dressed in leathers and furs, and they're all sitting around a campfire, eating some dinner, chatting, talking about whatever. You're not paying attention to what they're talking about. You see they each have like bows and arrows that are like laying on the ground next to them, and when they note the approach of people, they fucking put their hands up and try to stand up and look not threatening.
Choke them all out.
Jesus. We get right up to them.
You do.
I don't cut a dude in half. Does anybody else look like they're going to cut a dude in half?
I don't look like I have fists. I really can't.
You might be able to
any
cut a
chopping.
dude in half.
Maybe. If they're
with
made out
your
of chain,
fist.
Tobias?
I'll tear them in half.
I'm still standing in the darkness.
Solid choice.
Actually, there's 3 guys. 2 of them stand up like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hands up in the air. The third just kind of sits there and looks around and kind of just shrugs like he's nonchalant.
I'll straight kick him in the chest.
Really?
Yeah. Is he like sitting on a log or something?
Yeah, he's sitting on a log.
Yeah, I'll fucking just kick his ass right off the back of that log.
Straight
I
into
move
the
up to the
fire.
other 2 guides and I just hold my sword out in front of me and like, both of you remain as you are.
Make an attack roll.
Cool.
You have... no, it's not advantage. You just have a surprise, so you get an attack on him.
If it's a surprise round, I think I'd have advantage.
Nope, you don't.
No.
We went over that in the rules section of episode 2. Feel free to listen.
You can find it at Addicted to Fireball.
Addicted to Fireball, like, favorite, and subscribe. on AC 14.
14's a hit.
Cool.
You kick him straight.
Oh wait,
fire,
he
he
is,
burns
wait.
alive.
What's hide? Is hide 14? I think hide's
Sure.
14. Yep. You hit him.
Cool.
You ninja kick him in the chest, dude.
Cool.
I think it is.
Do you want me to roll damage?
Yeah, you're fucking kicking him in the chest.
Cool. Non-lethal.
How much?
9.
And you can
He
take a
falls
bonus action to
back
attack
off
him
of the
down.
log that he was sitting on,
Oh, before
sprawls
he can
up.
fall back, I'll make a bonus action to initiate a grapple and tackle him off the back of the wall.
Go for it.
Cool.
Or that.
That was.
Yep, height is 12 plus his dex, and his dex is 14, so that's AC 14, so you succeeded. That's great. Yeah, no. He goes to fall back, you catch his feet, flip him forward, and grab him. What'd you get? Athletics.
Like a 9.
Oh, I got a 10.
She's got a +3?
Well, yeah.
That's incredible.
He's proficient as a +1 strength modifier. That's 3. Easy mode. So he goes to fall back. You try to catch him as he's falling, and he kicks your hands away. He hits the dirt. He's like, "What the? What in God's name are you doing?" And he tries to scramble to his feet. While Asir is standing there in front of 2 dudes that have their hands up in the air. The guy on the ground kind of brushes himself off and stands up. He's like, oh. What the hell, man?
I was just curious, what are you all doing here?
We're eating dinner.
Obviously.
We're talking.
Where's everyone else that were here earlier?
They done left.
Where?
Hell, if we know.
Why
We
did
got
they
our
tell
coin.
me?
We don't care. Come kicking people in the chest. The hell's your problem?
I don't have any problems.
You got one.
You didn't surrender sufficiently.
Huh?
These 2 gentlemen, they have not been kicked in the chest. You should learn from this experience.
You can do better.
No, you should learn not to come up in here kicking people. The hell's your problem anyway? What do you?
I'd punch you?
I'd rather you just leave us the hell alone and go away. Okay?
That's going to cost you information.
Oh, so you're bandits.
Yeah. We're bandits.
He puts his hand on the hilt of a dagger that's on his belt.
No.
He's like, look,
So,
we came here for a job.
23?
AC?
Yeah.
Hit.
Okay.
What the fuck is happening?
He just
put his hand on
he
the
sniped him.
dagger. I didn't roll that great, so that's good. 7?
Plus the 7 dealt earlier.
9
He says,
dealt
look,
earlier.
9?
Yeah.
I thought you said 7.
No, I said 9.
No, that's fine. He said he has 11. So it's not good. That's bad. He puts his hand up and he says, "Look, we came here for a job. We hunted. We got our..." And he falls to the ground fucking dead in front of you. Blood just pouring out onto the dirt.
Gentlemen, if the two of you would remain very still, I'd like to save your friend.
Please.
Walk over and touch him.
The blood instantly coagulates, clots, and the wound closes.
As you were saying.
That's probably
Stop
enough
with
of
the
that.
arrows.
He lays there in the dirt with his face just mushed in sand, with the fire flickering next to
I'm
him.
holding the recently removed bloody bolt. Sorry about that.
Fuck you guys.
You really should learn
He
to
just-
surrender more.
He doesn't say a word after that.
easily.
You reach for a weapon. It's your own fault.
The other two just kind of stand there. One of them's got his hands up like, scared, shitless.
This is rather sufficient. If you'd like to sit down and return to your meals, that would be fine.
What was that name of the hunter that we sent back to Greenest?
Stefan.
Stefan.
something or other.
Stefan?
Yeah.
I asked them about Stefan.
Okay.
Do they know Stefan?
All right, men, stand down.
Says a voice from the darkness that you recognize as Tobias. One of the two that surrendered says, Stefan, yeah, good man. Okay, Hunter.
He was a good man.
You did him too?
No, he's fine, honestly. And you there with the neck, I apologize. There are a few of them out there, and one is a little inexperienced.
He just rolls over on his back and stares up at the dark sky.
As you wish. So you were all employed here at the camp?
Persuasion out of 17.
2.
Just
Get
kind
him to
of
die.
walk up,
With an
pat
arrow.
him on the back, of like, yeah, we were a little jumpy. It'd be best if we could kind of communicate easier.
Time has passed for that. Looks back up at the sky.
Sorry, bud.
The other two guards say, yeah, cult paid us well. Do some hunting, catch some game, bring it back, feed them.
So you're hunters from the area?
Yeah. Well, Stefan ain't. Stefan's from the coast.
They're referring to the guy that we ran into previously, right?
Yeah. His name was Stefan.
Yeah, well, I was just checking. It kind of looked like you were motioning towards the guy that was on the ground.
My bad.
They're both Stefan. They're both from the coast.
It's Stefan and Steven, okay? No.
Wait. Well, we're terribly sorry to have interrupted your meal then. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, it's all right. We're looking for work now. You guys need hunters?
Yes.
All right. The green fields are bountiful. A lot of gazelle.
As it seems to be that you're interested in non-conventional hunting contracts.
Mostly conventional.
Easily enough. Still, the skills of a hunter are a little bit varied, you would agree, I'm sure.
Extremely.
As it is, what we could probably most use right now would just be lookouts.
For?
Well, as it happens, we're to be paid quite lucratively for our current endeavor. See to it that a portion of those funds make their way onto you. How does something in the realm of tens of gold?
For? He leans forward, eyes beaming.
You and your companions, again, I'm terribly sorry about the bolt, merely keep a lookout around this camp and ensure that no one enters it.
Oh, they ain't coming back. They're gone.
Oh,
Well, those that left. I mean,
how do you know?
Is the whole encampment still set up?
aside from the burned down huts of the kobolds, yeah. but you don't see any movement. You don't see any torches lit. You don't see any people. You don't fucking hear anything.
So they just like abandoned all this shit and left.
Mm-hmm. He says, we'll keep a watch.
Well, if there's nothing to watch for.
I mean, you never know. But they up and left early this morning. Cry went out. Something about pack up, move on. Everybody split off.
What about the cave?
They're still there. Some of them, I don't know, little winged reptile guys. Whatever they are.
Gargoyles?
They didn't.
While they're conversing, and since this guy obviously doesn't want to interact with us at all, I'll start poking my head through various tents.
All empty. You can find random trash left behind. You know, broken mug here, some, paper here and there.
Used rubber.
Definitely some lambskins. No, no. There are no people left here aside from the hunters that you're talking to. Tobias, just standing back listening the whole time.
With my short bow and crossbow, as necessary.
Holy shit,
Not
you're
at the
good.
same time.
You hold an arrow while you have the crossbow grip, and it's just...
Athax,
What?
Could do it.
just standing there watching the whole time.
Oh yeah, I'm standing guard.
Over.
The dudes.
Okay.
Just to get out of hand.
No questions.
I'm an idiot. I don't.
All
You're
right.
not an idiot.
He's got an intelligence of 8.
But
You
a
just don't
wisdom
read
of-
good.
I don't read very good.
All right.
Well, if you gentlemen ensure that nothing bothers us while we go and inspect the cave, then I can see to it that you get some payment. The more valuable that service is, the more valuable it will be to you.
Look, as long as we don't get any more bolts to the neck, I can guarantee you that me and my two friends here will watch your back if you're trying to go in that cave.
Of course.
We'll be leaving a token force, just in case.
I pull out 3 silver pieces and just set them next to me myself and stand up.
Okay.
Advance. All right. Let's go ahead and move
The
on.
blue one's in there too, says the other guy that hasn't said anything. Not the man that got shot in the neck, not the guy you've been talking to, but the third one, the one that, second guy that surrendered, said, blue one's in there too.
Sign wrath.
Tell him to shut up and don't roundhouse him.
I hold my arm pretty much as far up as it goes, about this tall.
His eyes go wide and he nods.
Good. We should go.
I want this one.
Do you think you've earned it?
It's irrelevant.
Alright, and then you guys leave.
Yep, we start making our way towards the cave.
I meet up with you as you go that direction.
Alright.
I wonder why.
Athax, Leary,
What?
you leave with us here?
It's forced or not.
Okay. Sure.
I found that curious as well.
Okay.
I leave the token force up at the top of the cliff face.
Well, yeah, you have 2 horses and a Kruthox.
That's right.
Clearly a token force. Tobias, as you guys are entering, exiting the area that you're in now, moving in the direction of the cave, you pass through an area that you had been through earlier that previous day. And you note there are a lot of groups of wagons and pack animals moving in this direction, but you can tell that they begin to split off, almost as if they left in differing directions. Only because you're super insanely goddamn fucking observant. You can tell that from your current location. But
In the dark, no less.
in the dark.
Like boss. Looks like they got more wagons.
We're just moving by starlight down here.
No torches. Dark vision on Leary, clearly. Starlight for the rest of you.
So we cannot see super great.
Hey, all it does is give you a disadvantage on perception.
That's true.
Put
Until
a
you're
hand
in
on my
complete
shoulder.
darkness.
Good idea.
You move from the hunters' huts through the kitchen huts that you remember peeling potatoes in the day before, past the acolyte huts that Tobias notes are completely burned to the ground. How did that happen? And you get to the cliff face, the most northeastern cliff face that begins to bend and lead back in towards the cave, when I need perception checks from everybody.
Were there any bodies in those burnt huts?
You didn't get a chance to search those huts. That's too many huts to search in the time that you were looking. Would you like to take time to stop and poke in?
If we're just walking past, it's just...
No, I mean they're burnt to the ground, so you have to
Oh, if they're burnt to the ground.
like poke
Oh, it's
through
like
the rubble.
burnt shells or something.
No, they burnt down.
Aww. Darn disadvantage.
I got a 16.
Disadvantage for
I have
those that don't have dark vision.
So that's a 19.
Was gonna be a crit.
But instead, 10?
19.
What?
16.
Cleric with
19.
expertise?
Okay.
What? That's not normal?
As you begin to move around this particular plateau, or cliff face, Leary notes that in the entrance to the cave, which is the darkest section in the most northeastern portion of the map here, the cave mouth is a wide opening, probably 20 feet wide, and you see walking sentry. Appears to be a small-sized creature. But you see something weird and hunched on the creature's back. It's difficult to make out in the darkness from the distance. It's small,
C4.
but it's almost like it's wearing a couple of packs or something.
Son of a bitch got out.
Its leader. He escaped the prison. And ran all the way back to camp.
Alright. So you see that. Good job.
I throw my arms out, kind of like stop everyone. There's
Ignore.
something up there.
What kind of something?
I'm not sure. It's hunched. It appears to have something on its back. And it's small.
Could be a lot of things.
Panther.
Could be a panther.
It could be a puma. I told you to quit making up creatures.
Well, bobcat.
Take the quick.
I got this. Smoke bomb.
Smoke bomb. Shadow
Move it
step.
all together. Try to get as close as we can. Or a couple of us can go first. See what it is.
Back up. That's a good idea.
Hey, thanks, and I will rush it.
Yeah. Let's do this. Watch it go.
Okay. They're rushing.
So Asir and Athax look at each other. Now. And they begin charging towards the cave where as you approach, winged kobold is clearly patrolling sentry.
Almost at that feet.
Winged coal?
And that is where we end.
Hello, my name is Alaric Johnson. I'm the editor for Addicted to Fireball. I would like to thank you for listening, and Kevin MacLeod for allowing use of his music. This episode used 2 pieces, Lord of the Land and Long Road Ahead. If you enjoy his music and want to hear more, you can go to incompetech.com.
And Mrs. Renfield goes pepper salsa. I can't even eat it. I can't even eat it.
I just look at the jar. I ate it once.
Makes me sweat just looking at it.
No, my it hurts. I've eaten salt. I've eaten just not fucking chips with that Mrs. Renfield's ghost pepper salsa. You start eating that shit, and you're like, oh god, it's so good. A couple of chips in, you're like, oh god, it's spicy. I love it. Like 4 chips in, you're like, I think I'm gonna start sweating. 5 chips in, you're like, my fucking mouth hurts. Just parts.
Fucking stop!
You keep eating it because the only time that your mouth doesn't hurt you is when you have the salsa.
Yeah! I've been there! Dude, there's this fucking guy at work. Mexican dude brings in all kinds of salsa all the time because they just like to eat chips and salsa as a snack.
Wow.
It's whatever
Wow.
all the time.
Wow.
It's a fact. Some generalizations are true.
They're from the engine line?
They work on the engine line.
Yep.
We'll bring in the spiciest fucking salsa, and he challenges me every time. He's like, he calls me a gringo and tells me to eat it, so I gotta do it. And I take a big old scoop and a big old bite, and I'm like, bitch, what? That was easy mode. And then I go buy milk.
Good story.